Yeah, no, we're live.
I had to. No, that's actually a good intro for us and for you. I had the flu before UFC 282. Wish I wouldn't have even took this fight.
It isn't a good intro because you people attacked. I picked the favorite in that fight, and I was still attacked. Anyway, Jacob and I are going to break down the entire UFC Vegas 66 fight card. We're going to give you our picks, our predictions, our bets, and our fantasy plays. But before we jump into any of that, make sure you subscribe to this channel, subscribe to our other channel, and make a comment on a video, and you can win $1,000. It's literally that simple. Subscribe to We Want Picks, which is where you're watching this right now. Subscribe to Picks Nation. The link is in the description. And comment on the giveaway video. And we're going to use a random comment grabber to pick a winner and give away $1,000. The only caveat to all of this, we have to hit 10,000 subscribers. We only need 700 more. 700 in, 2.5 weeks or something like that? 2 weeks? That is not going to be a problem. I'm positive we're going to do that because we're breaking down this card. And then every week after that, we're going to go ahead and do our call-in live show. So make sure you're subscribed, you comment. All the links are in the description. You can get $1,000. Jacob, we're just giving the money. We're just giving it away.
Honestly, it's like at this point, it really is expected, at least from my end. Like this was not a good week for me. This was not a good week for me. And look what I did to the people. That's crazy. Yeah, is your audio on stereo, or did you
I just fixed it. Is it better now?
I think it might be. There's still an echo, but I think it might be a little bit better.
Yeah, I put on echo cancellation. Anyway, we have given you 61 units of net profit over 5 events. 5 events, 61 units of net profit. The last event, with the dicey scorecards, we had refunded money lines, and we still gave you 4.3 units from me, 6.5 from Jacob. Prize Picks hit, Knockout Kings hit, all the things hit. So become a premium member today so you can get early access to those bets and all the access to all the bets. Jacob's bets don't even go in the betting video. Not all of mine do. So if you're tailing just that stuff, depends which ones you pick. Maybe you're making money. You should be. But premium members are absolutely crushing. So go to WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10 a month. Click Become a Member at the top. $2.50 a week. And not only are you getting all the bets, all the picks, the DraftKings Optimizer, all that stuff, but when we do our call-in shows on weeks off, it's only premium members that can call in, Jakey boy. Only premium members.
Excited.
We Want Picks.
I wish
WeWantPicks.com. At the top, click Become a Member. I don't pay you enough. And if you want $50 for free to really kick off this holiday season, you can ho your way into a Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo payment from me. All you need to do is go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our betting partners. Make a deposit. We'll send you $50. You got to use our link. It's affiliate marketing. Use the link. They pay us. We pay you. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up. Make a deposit. I'll send you $50. What's going on, Jakey? You ready for this one?
Yeah, let's address real quickly the elephant in the room a little bit. Darren Till. Darren Till, he was the lock of the week, and I honestly don't want to hear any backlash on that because you were even jumping up and down when he was about to finish Du Plessis in the second round. We were both jumping up and down. If there was seismic stuff on the little radars around Dallas, that's why almost finished. Was the betting favorite in the third round. So I don't want to hear anyone being like, oh, why'd you pick him for like... First of all, the only underdog that won was Chris Curtis. And Till was the betting favorite in the third round. So I stick by my guns. But he is kind of a fraud.
Yeah, in the first round, that was the worst pick I've ever seen. In the second round, hey, maybe you're onto something here. And then in the third round, back to the worst pick. The dude can't defend takedowns from toddlers.
Well, you got to admit,
the
reason I picked Till was you got to admit that Du Plessis is also awful. I mean, that guy, yeah, he got that weird takedown, but just beating the side of Till's head when he wasn't doing anything doesn't show any type of skill. His takedowns were still sloppy. I mean, Till, no takedown defense, almost got it out of him. And he just he was dead after a round and a half. So,
I agree. Du Plessis kind of sucks as well. But let's go ahead and break down these fights. Opening up the card, we got Sergey Morozov taking on Journey Newson. Sergey Morozov, 18-5 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He is alternating wins and losses. He's taking on Journey Newson, 2-1 in his last 5. He should be 3-2 though, because there is a win in there that was overturned because he did some illegal drugs, Jacob. So they took that win away from him. This is going to be an interesting fight. I understand a lot of people love Sergey Morozov here. A lot of people love him. He's a busy striker, and he averages about 3 takedowns per fight. He's pretty decent everywhere. But Journey Newson looked awesome in his last fight. The only reason I'm a little hesitant, dude, in his last fight, you can't deny that he didn't look awesome in his last fight. He came forward, did the striking, got the takedowns. He looked really, really good. And Fernie Garcia, who was just your lock of the week, is decent. And Journey Newson worked him really well. He went back to his wrestling roots. He's a wrestler that found power in his hands, so he's just been chasing power for a while. But once he works in the wrestling, he looks pretty good. So I still think Sergey Morozov wins, but it's a little nerve-wracking because Journey Newson in his last fight, that version of him can beat Sergey Morozov. What do you think?
Yeah, the thing about that fight is, yes, he did look good, but he looked good because Fernie was kind of walking him down, but just kind of looking at him. I mean, Fernie was so low volume in that fight, just kind of following him along the fence. So Journey was able to keep distance, do it a lot. He threw a lot of spinning back kicks, but he did look, I mean, his striking did look improved. He had that 2-year layoff. He did look improved. He got the takedowns you mentioned, but I feel like that if he carries over that game plan to this one, it's going to be a Morozov fight because Journey not doing much, just kind of bounce around the outside. That's going to give Morozov the opportunity to get his own takedowns, and he's probably the little bit better striker. But I agree, this is closer than the odds say because Morozov sometimes doesn't, I don't want to say he abandons his wrestling, but he's kind of comfortable on his feet and he will get into some brawls. And if you're getting into a brawl where Journey Newson, this all of a sudden turns into a 50-50 fight. So I think Morozov needs to come in, assert the takedowns early, not mess around on the feet, even though I think he does have a little bit of advantage as far as like technicality on the feet. But if this stays on the feet and Journey be able to stuff a few takedowns, you know, Morozov can take a shot, but how many shots can he really take, especially with the way Newsom's throwing lately?
No, I hear you, man. That's why I didn't bet this fight. I know a lot of people love Sergey Morozov, and he's going to be a tentpole to a lot of parlays. I get it. He's a more talented guy. He should win this fight, but literally, Journey's last fight he looked incredible. So we're on the same side of the pick here. I'm a little less confident than you are, and we do have a super chat.
Big DV.
DV says, "Hi, guys." Couple of emojis. I saw Angelo's last video saying live stream was today. Yeah, we're doing it on Monday. Got to do a little work travel. So we're doing it on Monday instead of Tuesday.
He's saying it's work travel, but it's a colonoscopy.
That's an incorrect statement. Thank you very much for the super chat. It is genuinely appreciated. Guys, I do have a blue microphone. The room is empty. I'm moving. The furniture's gone. There's an echo. Deal with it. Whoa. DraftKings 9,300 to 6,900. 9,300 is quite a bit. You think he's getting the takedown?
You know, what's funny is I feel more comfortable with him betting wise in a parlay than I do 9,300 in DraftKings. I think that's overvalued, but like as far as and you know the caveat is this is I expect him to win the fight, but I don't know how much he's going to score for DraftKings. So that's why I would feel more comfortable betting on him than $9,300, but. You know, if he's starting to lay on some takedowns, they could add up quickly. Because Journey's a wrestler and he can get back to his feet, so they could add up quickly.
Yeah, they could. It's definitely, I don't know if I'm going to spend that money. There's a couple other people that are probably worth it. Mike Salzarulo. I'm a premium member, $2 super chat. He says he appreciates us. Thank you very much, Mike. Genuinely appreciated. You're just telling everybody I'm getting a colonoscopy and they all believe it.
Well, I mean, it's about that time. You haven't done that yet? I think you're supposed to do that. I think you're supposed to do it. I'm told you're supposed to do it every 3 months. I go every 3 months.
You bought the kit. You bought a kit at the store. You gave yourself your own colonoscopy.
They have premium packages. You can go in there once a week, really.
Get cleaned out. Anyway, Monkey Knife Fight Strike Line. If you don't know what that is, it's daily fantasy. You just say more or less on that strike line, and if you are right, you can triple your money 62 to 45. I think it's a more and more. I think this fight likely goes the distance or close to it, and I think they're just back and forth, brawling, smacking each other around, and that likely becomes a more. What do you think?
Yeah, I can definitely see the more. I think that's a more comfortable play.
Yeah. Oh, good. Great. Excellent. Anything else to add before we move on here?
No. You know, I just worried a little bit about the Morozov, chest tear. Hopefully he cleans that up before the fight, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's a little flaky there. It's
Nobody with chest hair wins. Actually, the mustache, the legit mustache, not glitch, but the curse is a real thing. We have not had somebody that just has a single mustache win. The guy that beat Fernie did. But he almost lost.
Because you're like, he almost, yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Almost lost.
So it's a real thing. You gotta shave that shit off.
Okay.
Yeah, the colonoscopy is serious, guys. I mean, Angelo's trying to he's trying to act like he's not worried about it and stuff. But I mean, as a friend, I'm worried.
You guys can support me and my journey by subscribing to the channel and then becoming a premium member. That really cushioned a blow when I'm sitting on my inflatable donut after the fact. That really, the premium memberships will really cushion.
I don't need that anymore.
You just need a towel for the blood.
Oh, God, what the...
Next up at UFC Vegas 66, we got a couple of strikers. We got David Dvorak taking on Manel Kape. David Dvorak 20-4 overall. 20-4 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off that loss to Mateusz Nicolau, which looks a lot better now. Manel Kape 17-6 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off back-to-back KO wins. And I like Dvorak here. I cannot believe this dude is a plus 200 underdog. I cannot believe it. First of all, turn your ring light on. You're dark as hell. Second of all, it's striker versus striker.
It's just my browser. That's the difference between my browser.
It's striker versus striker, and Dvorak's a very good striker. He's technical. He's got good forward pressure. Really nice low kicks, and then he works in his boxing well. Manel Kape's probably the more dangerous guy. Definitely. Not even probably. He's definitely the more dangerous guy. The problem is he's basically losing every fight until he's not. His last 2 wins were both come from behind knockout wins. And the one over Ode, he was getting beat pretty good. And then you're just going to look at wins by KO. You're going to look at the round and assume that, wow, he's taking people's heads off. He's got insane power. He's stupid fast, stupid athletic, but he falls behind in those technical changes.
He got cracked by Zalgas too. I mean, Zalgas cracked him enough to where he put a big smile on his face. It was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, and I like David Dvorak to win this fight. Plus 200s, that's a ridiculous price point. It might be worth a touch. The problem is Manel Kape is the more dangerous guy here, and it is a striking match. So betting wise, I'm probably going to be looking for, hopefully we get lucky with a 1.5 round, and I'll do the over on that for sure.
Yeah,
because I think
they don't drop those
the pace.
It's kind of annoying they don't drop those first anymore.
Yeah, they started dropping props, but not the rounds just yet. They probably want to see what the action is on the props.
They used to do,
then
they used to do all the rounds first, and then they did the props. They must have been getting killed on that. So,
yeah, I think they've been getting killed on a few because the takedown lines come out super late now too. So I think we are murdering them on those. Anybody who followed my takedown bet in the Patty fight, how could you not have done that? Whoever thought they set Patty as the favorite to get more takedowns versus Jared Gordon when Jared Gordon's the wrestler? That made no sense. Absolutely cashed that plus 165. Anyway, I like Dvorak here. What do you think?
Yeah, everything you said about Kape is 100% correct. You mentioned his last fight, Ode was beating him up. Zalgas was, landing a few shots, had the pressure on him. And Dvorak is no joke. I know he kind of it seems like he got exposed in that Nicolau fight, but we just saw how good Nicolau is. I mean, he is a counter puncher, and he is patient enough he actually will just wait for the counter punches. And when he counter punches, he's faster than anyone in the division. I mean, he literally is faster than anyone in the division. So David was walking him down, stalking him, trying to be patient, but eventually he just got so antsy, he tried to push the pressure and got countered by a faster guy. Manel Kape is not faster than him in this match. He's more powerful, but he's not faster, and he's not patient enough that when Dvorak brings that same pace and that same pressure, he will throw the counters, and Dvorak will be there. And I agree. I think this is a mostly striking matchup, and I think he definitely can hang it in the striking if he avoids the power, because Manel Kape does get hit. He does fall behind, as you mentioned. Sometimes he can even be low volume. I mean, that's kind of why he lost those decisions before, is because he just didn't do enough. And I can trust David Dvorak to push the pressure, even if he's getting hit, because Nikolai dropped him. He will come back. He will still be there. He will still fight to the end. And I wouldn't be surprised if he throws in some grappling as well. I think he's a little bit of an underrated grappler. That could be a path to maybe kind of wear Kape out, get rid of some of that power. So I'm going David Dvorak here as well. He's not the... I think these odds are super, super disrespectful to his type of talent. and I like him in this matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the plus 3.5 when that drops. I think Dvorak could certainly win a round. I think he could out-technique a round, slow it down. And if you go watch that that fight with Mateusz Nicolau, that was very low volume. Like very, very low volume. And he could slow the pace here as well. What do you raise your hand for?
No, I was just going to say there was another stat that I found interesting because I think this has the capabilities of being a decision fight. I don't see either one of these guys finishing them. You know, Kape obviously has a power, but Kape, and people will argue some bad decisions or whatever, is 1-4 in decision fights. So take that as you will.
No, and that's why that's what I'm saying. I hope we get lucky with the 1.5 round line. We've been cashing those little round parlays. I've been doing 2 or 3. I've been finding the 1.5s doing over, and they've been doing really well. So hopefully we get lucky with a 1.5 round line. And Quint Lazenby with the $2 super chat. Good evening, boys. Like the stream. Well, thank you very much, Quint. Money well spent. I agree. Like the stream.
Like the stream.
$7,100 and $9,100 in DraftKings. The problem with David Dvorak is while that $7,100 is very enticing for a very live underdog, he doesn't score well at all. He's very low volume. Like, he's technical, he counters, he can win minutes, win rounds, but he does not score well in DraftKings.
I think he comes out aggressive. There's something about him that I feel like that was his first loss in a while. I think he changes things up and he comes out maybe too aggressive and maybe gets knocked out because of it. But I think he really comes out aggressive, shoots some takedowns. So that could be that could pay off $7,100 if he's doing that, especially if he wins, even if it's a decision. So it could be an 80-90 score, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that would be out of character for him, but I mean, that's a very enticing price point because he is one of the more live underdogs on this card. Honestly, this is a very tricky card. Somehow, Jacob and I are just printing cash these last 5 weeks. I don't want to end that streak with this freaking card. I'm going to be more conservative than I normally am. Jacob's just going to do whatever the hell he does, and hopefully by the skin of his teeth, manages to pull it off.
That's some good-looking skin.
What is happening in the background? Are you listening to Christmas music? What is that?
What?
Is your TV or anything on?
In the living room? Which is on the other wing of the house?
Yeah, the other wing, sure. Why is the TV on?
Because I like the background noise.
Because you get scared. What an absolute joke. What an absolute
It's just a YouTube
joke.
video of cops walking back and forth. I feel safe.
You try to Home Alone all the burglars. Instead of a life-size Michael Jordan, you just have a TV facing the window. Anyway, Monkey Knife Fight Strickland, 52 to 71. 71's pretty high for Manel Kape. He's also not an incredibly high volume guy. I think this is a more or less situation, or actually probably, what am I talking about? I think this is a less situation. Dvorak can be low volume. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's either a less or a more. I don't know. This fight's, I agree with you on this card. This feels like and I kind of have these feelings on cards, and so far I feel like I've been right. Every time I feel like I'm about to make money, we make a ton of money, and when it gets hairy, it gets hairy. But I think this is one of those cards where it's more about money lines more than trying to chase inside the distance stuff. And I still will do that. You'll see me have some bets like that. But I think this is more of a broad money line or like does not go the distance or not type of card rather than trying to get too specific. So I don't know what you asked me.
As always, prepared and professional.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you want to tail some of our bets. I always recommend you do your own research. As much as we love printing cash, giving out bets, pushing the premium, that should all be a guide. Our premium membership, that's just what we are doing with our money. Those bets are our actual bets. So you want to tail, that's on you. I always recommend people do their own research, but if you want to become a premium member, get access to all the bets. We've given you 61 units of net profit over the last 5 events just on the bets alone, and that doesn't include the live stream bets, and that doesn't include the safety parlays. Go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It's only $10 a month.
Speaking of.
It's only $10 a month, and Eric Alvarez spent $2 more just to let you know that premium membership is worth it. Thank you, Eric. Genuinely appreciate it. Listen, I don't know, and this is a dead honest tape. I don't know what else.
By the way, that's an actual person. We're not. That's it. It seems weird to just somebody's donate like, hey, Oh, it's great, guys. I'm pretty sure it's an actual person.
Mrs. Lines says, listen, I at this point, I don't know what else I would need to do to convince you to sign. Like, what else would you do? The bets are crushing. There's a DraftKings optimizer. All the content in there for $10.
I even said that there might
what
be, I even teased on Twitter that there could be feet picks eventually. So, if that doesn't put you over the edge.
It'll definitely drive me to the edge. No. I'm actually pretty hairless for a large Italian guy. I have no hair on my back, no hair on my chest. I'm pretty hairless for a large Italian guy.
You seem like a long tongue hair guy.
No, I'm very well groomed. Very well groomed. Very well groomed. Next up, at UFC Vegas 66, we have Bryan Battle stepping up on short notice, taking on Rinat Fakhretdinov. Nailed it. In a very interesting fight. This is short notice for Bryan Battle.
That again? I missed it. I was reading the chat. Can you say it again?
Fakhretdinov. I screwed up the second time. I really had that the first time, though. Anyway, Bryan Battle 8-1 in his overall career. That does not include the Ultimate Fighter wins, but he is 5-0 in his last 5, and he is stepping up on short notice. He's taking on Rinat Fakhretdinov, 20-2. I don't know why I do that weird weird accent. Anyway, he's 20-2 overall. He's 5-0 in his last 5. He has not lost a fight since 2014, and this is a little tricky to break down. Bryan Battle, he's young in his career, but I don't know if I can remember another fighter that we have seen improve at this pace. I mean, every single time he goes out there, he's clearly better than he was. I could name Ryan Hall.
Look at the way he came out and beat Derek Minner. Right.
Constantly improving. Absolutely.
I mean, Darren Till, you saw in the second round of that fight, the improvement from the first round to the second round was incredible.
Thank you.
Anyway, podcast to podcast.
Yeah, no, it's definitely getting better. Bryan Battle comes out here every fight. He physically looks better, and his skill set just continues to improve. He always sets a great pace. He's pretty good everywhere. He's a solid striker, decent grappler, crazy kicks. And you can tell he's the type of guy, he's not like naturally gifted, but he works real hard and he just continues to improve. Rinat is nasty. He's a nasty wrestler with heavy hands. He will strike. He's constantly pressuring. He'll throw huge 1-2s and just bend over, grab your legs, and take you down. I broke this fight down on quick picks before there were betting odds. And if I had to set these odds, I didn't say.
We already talked about this a little bit.
Not on the stream. But if I had to set the odds, I would have had Rinat at least a 3-1 favorite. At least. The fact that the line looks like this is crazy.
I texted. I even tweeted. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, I do a full card breakdown. And let me look what I said right here. No odds yet, but have to imagine Rinat will be minus 250 or so, is what I said yesterday when I was breaking down the fight. So, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and listen, Rinat 20-2. If you dig into that record, it's hollow. And the last time I broke him down, I talked about how hollow that record is. But he's still very good. And here's the two things going against Bryan Battle. First, it's short notice. Second, Rinat's going to be the toughest guy he's ever fought. So he is stepping in against the toughest guy he's ever fought on short notice. That just... he's just not setting himself up well there. So Bryan Battle is incredible. I do have a money line bet on Rinat, but I've only did one unit because I do recognize how quickly Bryan Battle is improving. But this should, by all accounts, be an absolute murdering. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. And let me put some respect at least on Bryan Battle's name. I know you said he was improving and stuff as well. I don't know if anyone, honestly, in the UFC works as hard as this guy. I mean, you could just tell the physical transformation he made, and as Angelo mentioned, it seems like he's really picking up stuff fast. I just think he's outworking everyone. He seems like that type of the dude that knows he's not the most talented guy, he's not the quickest guy, but he is going to outwork everyone. And if he comes in and beats Rinat, I'm not going to be super surprised. I mean, obviously I said what the odds should be, but he works hard enough to where he could come in short notice and be like, surprise everyone and really make a name for himself, because this is going to be a tall task. Because as you mentioned, Rinat, a lot of holes in his record, but he showed up and showed out in his last fight. And Andre Michailidis, I know, has had, it's up and downs in the UFC and hasn't had the best wins, but he's not a slouch, and he's really not even a slouch on the ground as well. And Rinat just kind of ran through him. And not only it wasn't like he ran through him in the first round, got his win, got out of there. He proved that he can last 3 rounds of just every single round. The first thing he does is he shoots a double and gets people to the ground. He doesn't even try to mess around, and he did it for 3 rounds. I gotta trust his wrestling and his cardio against Bryan Battle in this matchup short notice. And Bryan Battle, I mean, he was losing that fight to Trace. If Gore did anything more in that fight, he'd probably lose that fight. And last fight, he found that head kick KO, but if you watch the way he kind of strikes, it's a lot of straight up and down, flat-footed standing. And if you're against a wrestler, that's going to be easy picking. So I love we're not in this matchup. I thought the odds were crazy. I got my bets placed, but I'll be rooting for Bryan probably. I like Bryan.
Yeah, he's good. I'm just surprised he's stepping up to take this fight. He's definitely just... He's throwing it out there. He's putting himself in harm's way. He's trying to do this, get a payday, and build up his record. And good for him, because this is not an easy fight, let alone on short notice. So we're both on the Rinat side. Somebody commented, how could you say you think Rinat's a 3-1 favorite and then only put 1 unit on him? Because I'm a dude that just gave you 60, with Jacob's help, 61 units of net profit. I'm not trying to throw that away. I'm the slow and steady guy. Take a look. I'm 1 unit here, 1 unit there. The only times I did 2 units on Ilya Topuria, because I was positive that was going to be a murdering, and then 3 on Ankalaev. And look what happened. I almost lost that 3 on Ankalaev. So slow and steady wins the race. You buffoon. 7,900 in DraftKings, 8,300.
Just on my side, we're lapping that turtle. I mean, slow and steady is not winning my race. I'm fast and furious. I'm in there. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. On to the next one. You know what I mean?
I don't know what you mean.
I'm talking Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm locked up. You try to get a hold of me between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m., maybe even 5 a.m. some nights. Out of service, buddy. Move on to the next one. I'm booked up.
I wish people could hang out with you in real life to know what you're actually like. Jacob has a TV on in his family room right now because it's too dark when it's not. He's in this other room. And there's not that many rooms. There's 3 rooms. There's 3 rooms. You're relegated to a corner. We should call you like the man in the corner.
The man in the corner. I like that.
Yeah.
The man
in the corner.
Corner. Oh.
Anyway, Monkey Knife Fight Strickland. Oh, DraftKings. I think Rinat's worth the $8,300 for sure.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. This is the problem.
No, I was looking. I got distracted by the chest hair. I was like, uh-oh, but I think he has back hair. If you have back hair with the chest hair, they cancel each other out. So.
Okay, well, $8,300 is probably worth it. Listen, Bryan Battle, $7,900. You know he's going to work for your money. That dude absolutely goes out there and puts it on the line every single time. I just don't. I think he can work as hard as he wants here. He'll probably still be taken down. $8,300, absolutely worth it. Monkey Knife Fight Strike Line, 75 to 56. You don't need to bet every single one of these. I'm probably going to leave that alone, because if Rinat just relentlessly grapples, Bryan Battle's not going to get to 75. But if there's any stand-up at all, if you look at the stats that I had on the screen before, he averages 7.18 significant strikes per minute. Significant. This number here is just total strikes. This is everything. Pitter-patter, the big boys, all of it. So he blows past the 75.5 if there's not a lot of grappling. So I'm going to leave it alone, though, because I think Rinat can grapple big time. What do you think of the strike line?
Sure.
Okay. I mean, Jesus Christ. I was like, hey, Jacob, I have to travel for work on Tuesday. Should we do the stream Monday? Yeah, absolutely. I get a text 2 minutes before the stream. Hey, I'm a little out of my mind here. Sorry. And then here you show up with your stupid grin. Well, I'm not trying to give everybody your business.
No,
with your stupid
I said
grin.
Absolute. No, I said, and I apologize. I said absolute mistake and miscalculation on my part. I think the fractions got me. We want Picks Nation. That's right.
What fractions?
The fractions when I was doing the calculations. I said absolute mistake and
the fractions on your bets?
No. What? Yeah, I bet you do.
That's right. Hey, stop saying let's ride. Jeez. Monkey Knife Strike Line, if you're confident in that at all, which I don't think you should be. You can give that a shot at weonpicks.com/MKF. More, less. Switcheroo. You could triple your money. Just use promo code WWP. They'll instantly match your deposit. Take the free money. Throw some at not this line, but some of the other lines. And honestly, all of that money should just go to Knockout Kings because every single week that is absolutely a cash cow.
People hate your mic, man.
It is what it is. Nothing I could do.
Well, why don't you turn it down? They're saying it's loud. You can turn it down manually.
All right. Middle of the road. Is that better? You have people convinced that you have an actual girlfriend. Congratulations, Jacob. You did it.
I don't have a girlfriend. I have so many girls. It's crazy. There's no way.
You did it.
Oh, my God.
You did it, man. This is all you wanted.
I have one.
You did it.
They know I've got a list. You want to see my text right now?
And they don't even think she goes to a different high school than you. They think she's in the other room. Congratulations, dude. You did it.
You could see if there was
I'm proud of you.
Fly on these walls. If you could be a pig in this room.
I mean, there are plenty. I guarantee there's been a pig or two in that room.
Oink, oink. We don't discriminate.
Next up at UFC Vegas 66, we have Rafa Garcia taking on Maheshate. Rafa Garcia is 14-3 overall, 2-3 in his last 5. He is coming off that decision loss to Dvorak. Close. Maheshate is 9-1 overall, 5-1 in his last 5, coming off that knockout over Steve Garcia. This is another interesting fight. Maheshate opened up as the favorite. He opened as the favorite, and this line flipped. It's moving a little bit. It's continuing to move. Rafa Garcia now is now the favorite, and that makes a lot more sense. He's a good grappler. He's got heavy hands. His cardio is just okay, but we've seen him push, and he is an absolute dog. He can be completely gassed, dying, and still out there pushing and fighting. And the reality is, yes, he just came off that decision loss to Dvorak close. That was short notice. He stepped up on short notice for that fight, and Dvorak looked amazing. Meanwhile, Maheshate, I get it, he's 9-1, but he's only 23. And, you know, he's a technical kickboxer. Sometimes he gets in firefights. Sometimes he hangs out on the outside, but he gets wild, lots of spinning stuff. And I could just see Rafa Garcia just coming in, grinding, getting takedowns, and just working from there. The craziest part about Maheshate opening up as the favorite in this fight is that literally 2 fights ago, when he was on the Contender Series, he was a plus 1,000 underdog, and that opponent was nowhere near as good as Rafa Garcia. Nothing about this makes sense. I have a unit on Rafa Garcia. I got him at minus 110, I think, minus 115. Premium members, you've seen that. This line's moving. Be thankful we're doing the show on a Monday instead of normal Tuesday, because this is going to continue to move, and Rafa Garcia is going to be a decent-sized favorite come Friday as people do their research, take a look, and be like, oh, yeah, this dude's going to come forward and grind out a win. You're on the other side of this, aren't you, you dumb bastard?
I'd like an apology.
Yeah, okay. I'll do the show without you. Watch if I give a fuck.
Listen, please just answer this honestly. Do you think that this dude can stand with Maheshate? You think that
stand with him? Probably not.
Yes,
do you think Maheshate is going to defend the takedowns? Absolutely not.
I mean, he showed his last fight. It was his last fight, I think it was the last fight. He showed he knew what he was doing. I mean, he split the legs. He was digging underhooks. It seemed like he knew what he was doing. And if you think that, obviously the Rafa game plan or the Rafa game plan is, or it should be, you better get him to the ground as quick as you can, and you better hope that you can get him down, and you better hope you can hold him there, because on the feet, Maheshate is an absolute problem. He is an absolute sniper with like lightweight, or I mean like 170 power at this division. And I know the big, what people are going to say a lot this week is Rafa's never been knocked out. He's never been knocked out. And I say this time and time again. Just because something has never happened does not mean it can't happen. It just hasn't happened yet. So I'm telling you in this fight, don't take this fight thinking, oh, well, Rafa can be tough. He is tough. Oh, he's never been knocked out, so he can't get knocked out. If there was ever anyone that was going to knock out Rafa Garcia, it's probably going to be Maheshate in this division. So I'm saying be careful if you're on the Rafa. Be careful if you're on the Rafa. Yeah, I got it. We figured it out. Be careful if you're on the Rafa side. But, his path to victory is the wrestling. If he starts standing with this dude, he's probably going to get knocked out. That's why I'm on the Maheshate side, because I cannot trust Rafa Garcia to chase takedown after takedown because he does get tired. I think they're on the feet a lot, and Maheshate finds that shot. I'm a believer, man. And if it keeps getting wider, I'll put some action on him for sure. Definitely inside the distance.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's got power. He can strike, but he's 23. And he would not be the first prospect that Rafa Garcia blew through. Look what happened when they gave him the Natan Levy. Poor Rafa Garcia, man. They just keep giving him tough-ass fights. But he blew through Natan Levy when he was supposed to be the next big prospect. And now they're like, here's Maheshate.
I took their high road there.
That was, which is, it's not easy for you to be higher up. Thank you for getting up there. Congratulations. $8,400. I love it. Takedowns score well. Submissions score really well. Control time scores well. I absolutely love $8,400. I'm assuming you like Maheshate at 7,800.
I think he snipes his ass.
You want to bet $100 straight up? Let's do it. It's basically even money. Mr. Confident. Done.
I was thinking about making even more than that, but.
And the last time I took $100 off of you, I sent it back and I said use it to donate some memberships.
Which I did.
What happened with that? No, you didn't. What happened with that money?
What?
Yeah,
there's been so many people. Raise your hand in the chat if I donated you a membership last month.
It was like 2 events ago last month. What an absolute.
Well, if it was more, it was within a month.
This is the man of the people. You're the favorite. You. What a joke.
That is an absolute fact, yeah.
You're definitely the favorite. Here's the thing. You're definitely the favorite, but I think people will understand.
Because they resonate with me because everyone in the chat is a good-looking, handsome dude,
That's
charismatic, funny. Every single person in the chat
for sure.
is they can relate to me because we are the same. And all the girls in the chat, they know why they're here too.
No, that's definitely, you're definitely the man of the people for sure. For sure.
Say it again. Say it again.
Ew, dude. Anyway, are you stop with the LL Cool J vibes? No, thank you.
Yeah, hit him with that. Hit him with the.
Jesus, dude, the microphone's too good and too loud. I heard every disgusting sound. Anyway, 62
we live?
to 62 to 41. This is another monkey knife strike line that I hate because Rafa Garcia is going to get the takedowns, get the control time. We're not getting anywhere near that 41 on the Maheshate side. Or like you said, Maheshate, one punch, gone. It's probably a less with that. After I got it out of my mouth, this is probably a less situation. What do you think?
Wow, what did you just...
What?
After I got it out of my mouth. Jesus Christ. How many fights are we in? Are we almost done?
You should be put to bed. You don't have your wits about you.
Whoa!
You're an absolute
You're getting
mess.
weirder. You're going down that road again. Once I get this out of my mouth,
bed?
you should be put to bed.
Okay.
That sound like you were volunteering.
Now you're okay. Jesus Christ. Well, and there goes. Oh, we went from 200 live viewers to 75 because this show just got weird. I'm not even going to plug Monkey Knife Fight at this point. You've got me so thrown off. It's out of control. This is the problem. This is the problem. We break the routine and you screw up.
How did I screw up? I didn't do anything.
You sent me a text. Sorry, I'm out of my head. I'm going to be a mess. Miscalculation. And then here we are.
I'm not. I'm doing good.
Yeah, look at you, so composed. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Fix your eyes. Absolute mess. Next up at UFC Vegas 66, we have Said Nurmagomedov taking on Saidyokub. Saidyokub Kakhramonov. And Said Nurmagomedov is 16-2 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. That lone loss was 3 years ago to Ronnie Lawrence. And then we got Kakhramonov, 10-2 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, riding a 4-fight win streak, and the odds makers got this one right. This is a dead even fight. 50-50 fight for sure. We have Nurmagomedov, who, if you're lazy and don't do your research, he is not related, and he doesn't fight like them. He does not grapple. He is a striker.
How is that? I mean,
it's got to be a common last name. It's got to be a common. I know,
but it's from Dagestan. It's like just like they're so small, same last name. It's like no relation. It's like, well, there probably is, right? I mean, there probably is.
No, I agree, but it must be a common last name. But they don't fight anything alike. He's not a grappler. He's actually a flashy striker. He uses range really well, but he's both dangerous in the pocket and outside of the pocket. But this dude is absolutely a striker. He only has 2 takedowns in his entire UFC career so far. He's 5-1 in the UFC. He only has 2 takedowns. Kakhramonov, on the other hand, is a grappler. We thought he was a striker, right? He's a very good striker. Quick jab, really solid low kicks. Then he came out there and just bodied Ronnie Lawrence, pushed him around, bullied him, did whatever the hell he wanted to do. 12 minutes of control time.
Who said that was going to happen? Somebody said that was like a lock or something. I can't. It's around the tip.
Was he lock of the week?
Yeah, he was my lock of the week. You were so high on Ronnie. Oh, the wrestling.
Well, Ronnie Lawrence beat Nurmagomedov. Well, anyway, I'm on the Kakhramonov side, but he does have to come in here. He's not going to outstrike Nurmagomedov. Even though he's also a very good striker, he's not going to outstrike him. He's got to come in here with that same energy, that same game plan that he had against Ronnie, and body his way through that fight. So I'm on the Kakhramonov side, but again, he should not be trading punches with Nurmagomedov. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Saeed definitely has the advantage on the feet. But he's kind of one of those guys that, he likes it clean. He likes the distance. He likes to be able to throw the kicks. He likes to keep his range, his pace. And if you start getting inside of his bubble and you start pushing the pace, he really doesn't like that. And he kind of folds in those moments. He is one of those guys, to me, we talk about it a lot, that are hammers, but they can't be nails. And you saw that in the Andrade fight, his last fight. I know he ended up winning that decision because he did some good stuff early, but late in that fight, Andrade really knew he was down and started pushing the pressure, was getting takedowns, getting good control on the ground. It was a big moment for Saeed to kind of either put up or shut up and either finish this dude or kind of fold under the pressure. And it looked like he was kind of folding under the pressure. Even at the end, it was almost like the Patty, to where it's like, oh, I already know I'm winning, so I'm just going to coast type situation. I need a killer, man. Especially in a matchup like this, I need the killer. And I know Saidyokub is an absolute killer. He came in that matchup against Ronnie Lawrence, not the better grappler, because I agree, I think Ronnie was a better wrestler, and said, I am going to out-grapple this guy. I'm going to put it on myself to show the world I can out-grapple this guy. And he absolutely did. He put it to Ronnie Lawrence. If he brings that same tenacity, pressure, pace, and takedowns that he brought in his last fight, I think he's going to steamroll Saeed. The issue is Saeed is very, very dynamic on the feet and should understand the game plan from Saidyokub in this matchup. So I'm going Saidyokub, former lock of the week. I think he gets it done with the pace and the pressure, but this is a 50-50 fight for a reason.
No, 100%. It should be a really fun fight. Both these guys are talented, a couple different paths to victory. And Yokub can strike. He's a striker. At least he's primarily been a striker outside of his last fight, and now we've seen that added layer. So he's the pick for both of us. I think these odds are spot on. I don't think this is foolish, and I'm not betting money line on this because I do think this is a 50-50 fight, and that's not a wise way to spend your money. What I will be looking for, I'm going to hope that the people who set the takedown lines at Bet Online see the last name and don't know what the hell they're doing. And then I'm going to do the more takedown bet on Kakhramonov, and that should drop Thursday, Friday, something like that. Again, that bet, I just crushed it with Jared Gordon. Plus 165. If you were a premium member, you saw me put that bet on the board. I think Friday, the minute it dropped, I put that on the board at plus 165. And all he needed to do was get more takedowns than Patty. If he got no takedowns or they got the same amount, you get a full refund. So the bet's canceled. All he needed to do was get more, and Patty wasn't going to get more. There's a 0% Saeed's going to get more takedowns in this fight than Kakhramonov. So I'm hoping we get a decent line and they mess it up. They messed up that Jared Gordon line. He's the wrestler. I don't know why they would have it like that. It made no sense. But anyway, I hope they mess this one up too. Make sure you're a premium member because when those prop bets drop, we hit them immediately. The prop bets for Bet Online are dropping now. Jacob already threw up like 6 or 7 units of prop bets. Literally, as him and I were waiting to go live, I was furiously typing and putting those up for premium members. So become a premium member now. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. The line movement alone, it's freaking $10, dude. The line movement alone covers the $10. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Kermit. $8,000 in DraftKings. This is
sound like with that stupid mic.
Is it still bad?
Yeah, man.
All right, whatever. Is the gain? Did my daughters mess with it or something?
Oh, wait, that sounds a little bit better. Did you just move a knob or something?
No. Looks fine to me.
Oh, it actually sounds better. Did you plug it in more or something?
No, shut up.
Wait,
you're just gaslighting me again. Hey, how you doing? ABC. Oh, hey, oh, gabagool.
That sounded better for a second. That might be better. I don't know.
How about this?
Sing something?
I will show you the world.
Hit a B minor for me. Hit a B minor. A sharp. A sharp.
No.
All right, and now suck my D.
Jesus, dude.
You walked into
this is why this is the flyers that I'm seeing.
I mean, you walk straight into that
singing lessons on all the telephone poles around your house.
I mean,
this is where
you walk straight into that one.
B minor. Get it? You want me to be a minor, and the FBI is going to raid your apartment now. $8,000 in DraftKings. He might actually be worth it. I think we've heard this price point before, right? They say that this is the price point that ends up in optimal more than any other. Not every time, but more than any other. What do you think? You think he's worth the $8,000?
Oh, yeah. I think even if it goes to a decision he loses, I think he could score 70, 80 points and a loss.
If he's got that same game plan as last time, for sure.
Right.
The wrestling game plan. All right, Monkey Knife Ice Strike Line 63 to 41. Another one. I don't know what to do with it necessarily because they could both blow past that for sure if they're standing, if they're striking. But I'm going to go ahead and leave that alone because if Saeed's going to come in here and just grab, or Yokubab is just going to come in here, grapple, same thing as the Ronnie Lawrence fight, he'll get to the 41, no problem. But Nurmagomedov's not going to have that chance. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this alone. If you're confident, you guys can do it. But as much as I want you to sign up, I'm not going to go ahead and push you into that. Next up, at UFC Vegas 66, we have a very interesting matchup here. We got Julian Marquez taking on Deron Winn. Julian Marquez, 9-3 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. And he's coming off the first KO loss of his career. Deron Winn, 7-3 overall, 2-3 in his last 5, and he's coming off that one-sided destruction by the hands of Phil Hawes.
Was it really one-sided though?
Phil Hawes absolutely murdered him. Anyway,
well, he came on in the second round, and Phil Hawes was tired, and it was. He landed some good shots.
Then you're gonna love this breakdown because I think this fight is very close. I think Julian probably wins it, but I am not betting on this fight. Julian Marquez, we have seen that dude get taken down. We've seen him get controlled, and he managed to pull out wins in those fights. But somebody like Deron Winn, short, stocky, has no problem winging punches, probably hits like a freight train, and can wrestle, a very accomplished wrestler. I don't think this is a lot of people are throwing Julian Marquez into parlays thinking that, you just watched Deron Winn get beat by Phil Hawes and Phil Hawes has no chin. That is not the MMA math you should be doing on this fight. The math you should be doing is look at the people who have taken Julian Marquez down. He's been taken down 14 times in 6 fights by people that are just not very good wrestlers, and Deron Winn is Deron Winn. So I do think Julian Marquez will win this fight because he just somehow pulls it out. In those fights where he's getting taken down, getting controlled, he pulls it out. He's got a few come from behind wins.
Good pull-out game.
But Deron Winn's very live here. One of the more live underdogs for sure. For sure. Jacob, can I get your opinion without the filth mouth, please?
Yeah, I was one of those people that warned everyone in that Phil Hawes fight because people were so high on Phil Hawes in that fight. And obviously, he came in, did what he needed to do, but I mentioned the toughness of Deron Winn. That dude is insanely tough, and you saw that in the matchup. I mean, just eating elbow after elbow after elbow, and all of a sudden, it was like, oh shit, Phil Hawes is tired. And it was like, oh shit, Deron Winn just landed a right hand. And ultimately, he didn't have enough, and he got finished. But do not underestimate the toughness of of Deron Winn, and coming to this matchup, because he's had lack of success on the feet and really wants to win a fight, maybe he does use his wrestling for once, because for whatever reason, you mentioned he's an accomplished wrestler, very, very, very good wrestler that just doesn't want to use the wrestling. He does a lot of just ducking under, throwing that overhand right, but if he came in shape and uses wrestling, he can out-wrestle pretty much anyone, maybe not in this division because he's like 5'5" at 185 pounds, and he said last time to make weight, did he miss weight? I think he actually made weight, but he said for that camp, he cut 30 pounds for that. So he is like 5'6". I mean, it's crazy. If he were like somehow getting in, obviously he must not be able to, but if he was like at 155 or 170 with his wrestling and his control, he would be an absolutely a top 15 fighter. I digress. At 185, he's still a better wrestler than most people, but I just can't trust him to use that. If he comes in to use it, I would probably pick him, but I think he might get in a little warfare here. And as you mentioned, Julian, I think his nickname is the Cuban Missile Crisis, I think.
Yeah, it's a cool nickname.
Yeah, I think he just finds a way to get it done. So I got to go with Julian here, but I would not play either side of this. I did play either side. I did play a bet in this, but it's not on either side, and become a premium member to find out what that is, and have fun with this. I'm gonna be rooting for Deron, but I think it's a tough go. Can't trust him yet.
Yeah, I mean, I like him for sure. I like Deron Winn. Again, to your point, I don't like him enough to actually go ahead and spend the money on him. We'll see. This is another one. I'm going to wait for that takedown prop bet because for sure, Deron Winn's going to get more takedowns than Julian Marquez. The only thing I hate, so I love Bet Online. Both of us do. Obviously, we have an affiliate deal with them. We have an affiliate deal with everybody, though, so there's no reason to push them over anybody else because we have the same deal with everybody. But they absolutely have the best prop bets for MMA. It's not even close. They do 17 different prop bets per fight. And that includes who's going to get more takedowns, who's going to land more significant strikes. And then they set actual lines, 2 takedowns, over, under. I'm definitely going to figure something out with the takedown prop bet here because Deron Winn for sure will be the who's going to get more takedowns, but that might be minus 600. But they might give him a half of a takedown line or like a 1 takedown line, something stupid like that. And I agree with you. I think he's going to go to his wrestling because he knows he's got to win. Everybody wants to keep their job.
Didn't he retire? I thought I could have sworn that after the last fight, he was like, you know what, guys, maybe this just isn't for me type of speech. And obviously that's probably going to be like an in a moment, even if it was. But I thought that he was like, said that he was like done or something. Or no, I think it was before his last fight. He said he was like reignited and excited to fight again, or there was something going on.
Yeah, I don't remember, obviously, but
it's one of those symptoms we've been talking about.
Okay.
That's why we're getting. That's why we're finding you a good home tomorrow.
Like a cat. 8,700 to 7,500. I think Deron Winn. I don't know if I'm going to do it in a cash league, but Deron Winn should be in some of your larger tournament plays for sure. For sure. You agree? You don't think he... Okay. Anyway, a large tournament play, I think he absolutely should be in one of your lineups because let's not forget Julian Marquez was just knocked out. Deron Winn has very real power. Obviously, Deron Winn was on the wrong side, but the way their knockouts were a little different. One of them's got a little bit of a better chin. The faces, dude. The face. You just gaslight me every week, and I get irritated.
Just looking at myself.
Now you know the misery that is my life every Tuesday night. Stare at that. Anyway, become a premium member. Get access to the bets. Jacob mentioned he's got bets on this. The minute those takedown prop bets drop, I don't know what the odds are, so I can't promise I'm going to hit it, but I'm definitely going to be looking at them very, very closely, and anything remotely close to favorable will be bet on. And if you're already a premium member, which you should be, link your Discord, costs nothing, a couple clicks of a button. That's how you get the alerts to your phone. You don't even ever need to go to the website. You just use Discord. It's all right there, and you get the alerts, the push notifications to your phone.
Someone just offered me their sister in the chat, which appreciate that.
You did it. You convinced people you had a girlfriend, and then you convinced people to try to get you a girlfriend. This is real win for you tonight. Real win.
We've had those discussions on the live streams. Like, my pitch is, how would you not want to have me as a brother-in-law? I mean, I would be the best brother-in-law in the entire world. So if you got sisters out there, you know where to send
The fact that your pitch is going, the fact that you have to pitch to the brothers and not to the actual women themselves tells you everything you need to know.
They have direct connections
about Jacob's situation.
There's nobody more connected.
Oh
Some
boy,
of you
do I have
connected.
a guy for you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of you are a little too connected. You know what I mean?
Arkansas wrestling. Next up at UFC Vegas 66, we have Jake Matthews taking on Matt Semelsberger. Jake Matthews, 18-5 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, and he's coming off that knockout win over Andre Fiallo. Matt Semelsberger, 10-4 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, and he's coming off that loss to Alex Morono. What?
Can I just say, and maybe it's the pictures, and I know this is going to sound bad, but how good looking are these two guys right now? These look like absolute model pictures. It's crazy. I was looking at Matt, and I'm like, is that Matt? I looked at Jake, and I'm like, holy shit, look at this guy too, huh? Good for them, guys. I don't know if you guys are watching, but hey, let's get some double G's in the chat for the looks on these chaps, huh?
I'm not a fan of the, obviously if I could grow a beard like that, I'd explore it. I'm not a fan of the fake lumberjack look, though. Like, come on.
I don't know if he's fake about it. He's the Jedi.
I mean, it works. Definitely work. Better looking than I'll ever be.
He's got mystical eyes. I mean, I'm just lost in those things.
Okay. Well, you worry about that. I'll worry about their records. And I mentioned Matt Semelsberger's coming off that loss to Alex Morono, but we just saw how good Alex Morono is. We just saw that. Alex Morono stepped up on like 3 days' notice and almost beat the biggest favorite on the entire card. So anyway, I like Jake Matthews here. I know a lot of people love him here. I don't know if I necessarily think he's a quote unquote lock. I have to block the screen when I do these. Anyway, he's a pretty well-rounded guy. He's normally a wrestler with solid wrestling, good variety of strikes. He works angles really well, but we just saw his just pure raw power in that knockout over Andre Fiallo. And he did that after a full year removed. Then we got Matt Semelsberger. He's an aggressive striker. He marches forward. He's got solid leg kicks and big-time power in his hands. He's a gritty guy. The reason I like Jake Matthews to win is literally from that AJ Fletcher fight. AJ Fletcher stepped up undersized on short notice, was able to take Matt Semelsberger down. He was able to take him down a couple of times, and if AJ Fletcher's doing it, Jake Matthews is going to do it. Then we watch Alex Morono come in here and out-volume Matt Semelsberger and take the decision that way. And if Alex Morono can do it, Jake Matthews can do it. So I like Jake Matthews to be the better overall striker, the better grappler, and just avoid the power. This is another fight. We do not have round lines yet, but if we are lucky enough to get a 1.5 round line, I'm definitely doing the over. I'm definitely going the over here. I think this might likely go to a decision. I think Jake Matthews wrestles. What do you think?
Well, you're not going to get the 1.5 because goes the distance is minus 180. So it's probably going to be over. It's going to be 2.5, and then over is going to be like minus 150 probably in that matchup. But yeah, I think it's probably a decision fight. And I think, that I don't see the wrestling that Jake Matthews is going to bring in because I think Semelsberger is decent in scrambles and he's just going to be able to dominate on the feet. I don't think he's going to have to go to wrestling. If he wants to, obviously he can control positions there. But you mentioned it. Alex Morono, we saw what happened with him on short notice against Ponzinibbio. An awkward striker, but he really shouldn't be outstriking people the way that he outstruck Matt Semelsberger. He's a power puncher. You saw against Ponzi, he can land powerful shots. But if you're a good striker, you should kind of do what Ponzi did to Alex Morono. And Matt Semelsberger really had issues on the feet. And Jake Matthews, I think, in this division, his kind of rebirth, I think he could be a dude, man. I talk about dudes that really can be dudes and have kind of the well-rounded game, the athleticism, the charismatic confidence. You can see in the cage in his last fight how confident he was against Andre Fiallo, just kind of stalking him, hands low, in the flow. If he finds a flow in this matchup, I think he could finish Matt Semelsberger. He's that talented on the feet, and as you mentioned, dangerous on the ground as well. This could be a decision fight because Semelsberger is tough. He is kind of gritty and wiry in weird positions, but I think Jake Matthews absolutely dominates this matchup, and I'm not gonna bet against him. I'm definitely gonna keep betting on him until he proves me wrong, because he has shown he is that talented and that confident as well in all aspects of MMA. So give me Jakey boy for the win.
Yeah, we're both on the Matthews side. Again, Matt Semelsberger, big time power, and that is always worrisome in a match like this. But I can't pick somebody that I've seen get out wrestled, somebody I've seen get outstruck, fight somebody as well rounded as Jake Matthews, and then be like, man, but he could land that one big punch. That's not a career. That's Derek Lewis. We're just describing Derek Lewis now. You can't just count on a guy forever to land the one big punch. And I feel like that's the trap we're falling into with Matt Semelsberger. These odds are probably correct, so I don't think this is shocking. Although when the Ilya Topuria odds looked like this, everybody was blown away and thought it was ridiculous. But this is
-140, so it wasn't the same at all.
He was 160 when it first dropped.
Ooh, very similar to 235. Stupid ass.
You're lucky this is a kid's show? Okay.
Yeah, what would happen?
Next time you come over for fights, I'm going to wring your stupid ass neck, have somebody film it, and then just have
Put your hand out. Let me grab that shit. I'm fucking just...
I can't wait. From now on, I'm going to do everything possible to just expose
grab it like
the
this.
real Jacob.
In triangle.
This is the
armbar.
This is the people's champ. He showed up to my house Saturday with a box of donuts. This is the big
and
Christmas cookies.
You're welcome. How hospitable is that? You know how bad I wanted to take those donuts home with me when I left? I left them there for you. I hope you ate the whole damn box.
I did not. They went in the trash.
Yeah, I bet they did. You probably still got sugar on your lips.
They went in the trash for sure. Okay, Jesus.
I was wondering if that was going to if you were going to keep going or if you were going to what?
Anyway, $9,200 on Jake Matthews. While I do think he dominates this fight, I'm not spending $9,200 on a decision. What do you think?
I don't know. What? I was reading the chat. I don't know. Sorry.
We're talking about the price point here.
Oh, $9,200 DraftKings? Yeah, he's going to be in my lineup, I think. I think he dominates.
Oh, man. But you just said you also think it goes to a decision.
No, I didn't. I said if he gets in his rhythm, he could knock out and finish Matt Semelsberger. That's exactly what I said. Why don't you try to listen to me for once?
I can't wait to send you a clip when we're done recording of you
with the 200 pesos. Hey, Angelo, don't mess with the best shadow boxer out there. Ooh. If I didn't have this shoulder injury, I'd really...
How many people would love to see Jacob and I spar? Let's spar, Jacob. How many people would love to see that?
I would love to do that one day.
Done. Absolutely. Well, we have a couple of free weeks coming up, Jake.
Yeah. I mean, I really have this. I seriously have this like a stinger in my back, which really, I mean, that's my jab right there.
Let's just arm wrestle then with the good arms. We'll do the other arm. We're arm wrestling. You need
both arms to wrestle. Do you know how to arm wrestle? You gotta have that support.
Oh, okay.
You gotta have that support.
Thumb more?
It really is.
You want a thumb more? You want a thumb more? I would love to. Yeah, I'll beat you in anything.
You hold my hand or something? What the hell's going on here? If you want to hold my hand, just hold it, man.
I've turned a corner.
I saw you. I mean, it got a little. I don't know if you noticed. I noticed the way you were inching all over. I mean, every fight on the couch, you're like this. I'm like, dude, what is going on here? Jesus Christ. Okay. Show us that pointy elbow.
Yeah.
Tony.
I think this break is going to be welcomed because I'm getting to the point. You're going to get your neck run. You're going to get your neck run. You've gone. I don't know. Another 200 pesos. Proper camp. I have your back, Jacob.
That's right. You give me 6 weeks.
I've been begging you to sign up for jiu-jitsu. Do something productive with your day.
I've done boxing. You can tell.
How many boxing classes did you go to? How many?
Enough, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Went to enough of them.
What an absolute... I can't wait till we get big enough to like host events, and then people are going to see you for the first time. Like, ooh, Jesus Christ. You're just going to be putting dollars in a hat Here's for your next treatment. Get better soon, boy. Anyway, Monkey Knife Fight Strike Line 61-46. I think it's a more and more. I think they go at it. If there's wrestling, there's even more in there. 46 is pretty low for Semelsberger, so I'm liking it. If you want to play that more and more, go to wewantpicks.com/MKF. Sign up, make a deposit. They will instantly match that deposit. You give them 100, they'll give you 100. You give them 50, they'll give you 50. Take that free money. I like the more and more here. And you could triple your money if you're right. You could 25 times your money if you string them together. Next up, we have Cheyanne Vlismas taking on Cory McKenna. Cheyanne Vlismas 7-2 overall, 4-1 in her last 5, riding a 2-fight win streak. Cory McKenna 7-2 overall, 4-1 in her last 5, coming off a bounce back win over Miranda Granger. Are you just this distracted from the graphic? Yeah, okay.
What did that look like? I couldn't see the screen. Was it good?
It was the angle. It was weatherman accuracy. Is it?
Was that good?
That one was very good. You know why that one's so good? Because
it's all good. It's fine. She might see this. It's fine. It's nothing weird. It's not. Nothing weird.
Because your background, that corner in your room is so dark that it actually looks like it goes to some void where you can see behind the graphic. Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought you were going to scratch and sniff in the void real quick.
Come on.
Anyway, let me clean it up.
Come on.
Keep it classy.
Cheyanne, I apologize that he's being unprofessional. I do.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
I'm really,
back on track.
I've lost who I am. Anyway, this is an interesting line here. 2-1 favorite. 2-1 favorite. Cheyanne Vlismas makes no sense to me. No sense. She's going to be the better striker in this matchup. I get it. She's a busy striker. She's a fun striker. She doesn't, she does have a knockout win. It's not, if you watch that fight, it wasn't true raw power. It's just a really well-timed strike that you'll argue was illegal, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it actually wasn't, but that was Gloria. I don't think she was my lock of the week, but me and Gloria go way back, and it was disappointing to say the least.
Well, I think these odds are super wide. Like I said, she'll be the better striker. But Cory McKenna, she's tiny, is my issue with her in this fight. But she will come forward furious, throw 1-2s, stay in your face, then shoot takedowns, pick you clean up in the air, dump you, and just beat on you. She's got energy for days. She can wrestle. She can strike. Nobody at this weight class has power. But she will come forward, bomb away, try to work in the wrestling, try to make something happen. At 168, at plus 168, I definitely would trust her way more with my money than Cheyanne at minus 193. I don't know where that minus 193 is coming from. Like, what have we seen from her where it's like, yeah, she should be a 2-1 favorite over somebody who is also doing well? Right? That Miranda Granger win? It was a question, and then
because I was about to answer.
It was real, but hold on, let me just finish. She lost, she's coming off the win over Miranda Granger. She had 3 takedowns in 5 minutes of control time, then a submission. And I don't know why she can't just do that exact same thing to Cheyanne. So I like Cory McKenna here. I think she's great value at that price. And before I hand it over, we got $5 from Chris V. Pour one out for JP Bays. Yep, poor JP, but honestly, he's probably better off. She's probably crazy. Jacob boy.
Yeah, listen, hey, I don't think that. I actually think that Cheyanne is and it does like, because I do I follow her on Instagram, so I see all this stuff. And she is very, very determined, hasn't fought in a year, long layoff, a lot of stuff has happened. She is a very determined woman. It seems like she's the type of girl that when she says she's going to do something, she comes through and she does it. And we all know those type of women. Some people are all talk, and some people are talk and action. She seems like one of those persons that's going to be action. So if she comes in, and I think that she's one of the best strikers in the division. She's a very, very, very good striker. Her precision and accuracy is incredible. The issue is zero power. Angelo mentioned she has a knockout. That was a head kick. Perfectly timed. Well done. But really kind of zero power. She's going to have to outpoint everyone. And Cory McKenna is somebody that really gets in your face. I mean, she really gets in your face, pushes the pressure to outpoint her. I think she can on the feet. But the biggest thing you mentioned was the wrestling of Cory McKenna. And this is the first big real test for Cheyanne since the Montserrat Ruiz fight. In that fight, she got headlock takedown and absolutely controlled, and she said, I will never let that happen again. But this is going to be the first real test of her grappling, of her wrestling takedowns in this matchup, and I think that Cory is going to be able to get enough, kind of be 50-50 on the feet because she has the pressure and the volume, and Cheyanne doesn't really have the power. Be 50-50 enough in the feet, mix in a couple takedowns, and win this decision, and maybe even find something late on the ground with her grappling and jiu-jitsu. But I got to go with Cory McKenna here, but if Cheyanne comes in, blitzes, and looks fantastic on the feet, it would not surprise me in the latest, I should say. And I'm rooting for you, Cheyanne. I'm a fan.
But the pick is Cory.
I'm a fan of. I am a fan of Cheyanne, and I will be rooting 100% and giving my all in that fight.
Even though you have bets on the other side. Let's hope she's not a premium member, because then she would have access to your bets. And also our DraftKings optimizer, our DraftKings player ranking, our FanDuel player ranking, ownership projections, and all the bets, Jacob. And do you know how much she would be paying a month for that?
I would give it to her for free, so.
She would only be paying $10 a month. That's only $2.50 a week for access to all of those things. What? What are you pulling out of Werther's, Grandma?
Werther's are incredible. No, it's a little mini Three Musketeer, though.
Dude, the mini candy is top 5 creepiest. One of the creepiest things you do. What children are you luring back to your apartment with miniature candy? Why do you have miniature candies? You're a grown man.
I bought just a big bag at Target around Halloween and still getting
you
through it.
did.
The girls I bring over are watching the figure. So
I bet they are.
I got a new candy. I got a different candy shop for them.
They're both 5'3", but look at the reach. 58-inch reach for little Cory McKenna. Little punky Brewster, Cory McKenna. 58-inch reach. She's only 23 years old. But she lands at a decent volume. Cheyanne's landing at a higher volume, but if you watch the fights, Cory's got the higher rate of output. Because keep in mind, these are only significant strikes, not total strikes. So I trust Cory to come forward, stay busy, get the takedowns. Basically look like she did in the Miranda Granger fight, maybe without the submission. $9,000, 0% chance I spend $9,000 on Cheyanne. She's not dangerous. There's not going to be a knockout or a submission in this fight. Most likely. It's a fist fight. Anything can happen.
I mean, but she is one of those girls that if this does go her way and say she wins all 3 rounds, with her striking, she throws so many strikes, it could add up. I think it's a flyer, not worth the $9,000, but if you're playing multi-entry, she could be on an optimal lineup because she could score 110, 120 points in a decision just from her volume alone, Cheyanne Levy.
Yeah, listen, I hear you. I'm not going to spend the $9,000. No way. I think Cory McKenna wins this fight, and I think she's absolutely worth $7,200 in DraftKings, and I think she will fight for your money. She's going to come forward, grind, and try to get that win. Not that Cheyanne isn't, but Cheyanne has one way to win: outpoint on your feet. Cory can also outpoint on the feet. Well, probably won't happen in this matchup, but she can grapple, she can wrestle, she can work the submission, she can push it, she can pump it, she can slide it. So I like Cory McKenna to get it done. It wasn't that funny.
God, what the fuck? That was so unexpected.
Because I hear that song is on the radio constantly. Anyway, not spending $9,000 on Cheyanne. We'll definitely spend these $7,200 on Cory McKenna, 114 to 72. I think this is a more situation because I think Cheyanne will not get to that complete number because of the takedowns. You need to chill. That wasn't that crazy. This is the problem, Jacob. Your recreational habits are getting in the way of your job. This is your job.
I'm not getting
And
away.
look,
You're the one that did that.
I sang a beautiful song, top 15 song. It's
I didn't
beautiful.
know what song it was. I just heard I could slide it.
You've never heard that? Dude, you've heard the song.
I don't
Cardi
want
B.
the radio.
I can push it, I can pump it, I can pump it. It's either that.
Literally, I might after this unsubscribe from us. I literally
It's either that or freaking JoJo Siwa, which is just getting so old. She's got like 10 songs, and I've heard them 10,000 times in the car. It's getting old. It's getting real old. Anyway, become a premium member, unlock all the bets, including the bets Jacob has on this fight, and this is another takedown prop bet kind of fight. Once we see that line for Cory McKenna, I'm going to hit it. So make sure you've linked your Discord. I know we have well over 1,000 premium members, and I know there's not 1,000 people with their Discords linked. So link your Discord. If you don't have one, make one. The Discord's free. Our Discord is free to join. You just have to be 18 because we had a bunch of creep 14-year-olds hanging out in there. What are you writing on a piece of paper? Why do you even have? What did you write? God, you're
just
very bizarre. Very bizarre. Next up at UFC Vegas 66, we have another short notice fight. We have Cody Brundage stepping up on short notice to take on Mikhail Olekchuk. Cody Brundage 8-2 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off back-to-back finish wins. Mikhail,
isn't it Olejacek?
It is, but then I was thinking Joanna Jurjacek, and it's all a mess. It's all a mess. Dude, it's not even the regular letters. It's the letters with like the built-in tildes, but they're not tildes because it's a mess. It's a mess.
The international keyboard.
Mikhail Olejacek is 17-5 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off the KO win over Sam Alvey. And historically, Sam Alvey had a decent chin, but that faded pretty quickly when it did. But Cody Brundage is a solid college wrestler. He obviously moved over to MMA. He's got decent chain wrestling. He's got some big power in his hands and an okay chin, right? Dalcha Lungambula had him rocked a few times before he got that done. And then, he just showed his power against Tresean Gore, put him out with one punch. Mikhail Olejacek is a very good striker. He's incredibly fast. He's sort of a busy volume striker, but we did see his power against Sam Alvey. And what was weird about that fight is he came bombing away. Typically, Mikhail is like straight punches, super fast, literally beating you to the punch. But that Sam Alvey fight, he was like, I need a finish, and literally was just overhands on both sides looking for that finish, and he ended up getting it. So what's interesting is I don't know if that's just I need to get back in the win column, let me bomb away, or if that's just how he's going to fight now. But I think Mikhail wins this fight. But if Cody had a full camp and this wasn't a short notice step up, I think Cody could beat Mikhail. Mikhail's not that good. He's not 3-1 favorite good. We've seen him get picked apart. Like I'm surprised. I'm not surprised that he's the favorite, and the line doesn't surprise me because it's short notice. I'm just surprised how many people are like 100% positive Mikhail's going to win this fight and don't even recognize Cody has power and wrestling. What do you think, Jakey Boombots?
What? I'm actually one of those people that think that Mikhail kind of runs through him in this matchup, and I hope that he copy and paste that game plan and that aggression that you mentioned about in the Sam Alvey fight. In that fight, he basically just did not respect the striking of Sam Alvey. He said, let me just blitz this guy. I know I can land the shots before he lands the shots. I have just as much power. Let me just put him out. And honestly, in this matchup, he should do the same to Cody because Cody's stand-up is not that good. Mikhail should know that he's a better striker, can get to the button faster than Cody can get to the button, and force those takedowns, right? That's what they always say about wrestlers. Push them back, force those takedowns, because if Cody's able to time his own takedowns and he gets a takedown, this could be a long night, I agree, if he's able to get those takedowns. But if Mikhail comes in with that aggression, with this striking, he's got good takedown defense, so even if he's on the legs, it doesn't necessarily mean, but Cody can be a pretty relentless chain wrestler. But Mikhail needs to come in with the aggression. Don't respect Cody at all. Blitz him. Force those, against the cage in those takedown situations. Defend him. Lay pressure on him because Cody will get tired as well. I actually like Mikhail a lot in this matchup because he does have such an advantage on the feet, and I'm not convinced that even if Cody's able to get a takedown or two, he can control him there and do it for 15 straight minutes, where McCall has good pace, good cardio, can do his volume thing for 3 rounds. So I like McCall this matchup. I understand why the odds are the way they are, and I actually kind of like him like that. So
yeah, I mean, I get why the odds are the way they are with the short notice, and obviously he has power. Cody can get touched. McCall is definitely the better, cleaner striker, but Cody also has power and wrestling. And McCall, we've seen get taken down a few times, and we've seen him get outstruck. That's not going to happen, right? Dustin Jacoby and Cody Brundage are very different people, but we've seen McCall get outstruck. So.
And Cody Brundage, I mean, his UFC career is he got tired and lost to Nick Maximov, who's not in the UFC anymore. He was getting the shit beat out of him by Dolce, found that guillotine, was gifted that guillotine, and then gets Tresean Gore. Tresean Gore is walking him down. I mean, against the fence, and if McCall does the same thing, walks him down, obviously he found that shot, that little left jab. I mean, it was like such a short shot on Tresean that dropped him, but yeah, I don't know what my train of thought was.
Yeah, I think you were done there. But listen, I hear you. I like Cody. If it was a full camp, I'd probably give him a better look. But McCall's going to be the pick here. 6,800 and 9,400. I'm assuming you think it's a stoppage, so you're loving that 9,400.
I don't necessarily think it, but I think he definitely could.
Well, this is most likely going to be a 1.5 round line. I don't know if I'm going to play the over here. I love over 1.5s. Like, I absolutely love them, especially when it's not heavyweights. So we'll see what that line looks like.
Does not go the distance, is minus 260. It's probably going to be a 1.5. Under will probably be minus 115.
Wow, congratulations. All right, we'll see when it drops. Should be tomorrow. $9,400, I get it. There's not a lot of people in this card that you're positive are going to get a stoppage or should be really live for a stoppage. Both of these guys are actually live for stoppages. They both have power. This should be a monkey knife fight play for sure. Don't even worry about the strike line. Just go ahead and throw McCall in your monkey knife fight knockout kings. If you don't know what that is, it's daily fantasy. You can pick any 3 fighters on the entire card. If one of them wins by KO or TKO, you get paid. 2, you get paid even more. We literally have been printing money with knockout kings. Printing money. You could pick any 3 fighters on the card. We doubled up Rosenstruck and Dawkins. That was a guarantee. It was a guarantee one of those dudes is going to get knocked out. Doesn't even matter which one. This fight isn't quite like that, but there is likely a KO or TKO in the mix, and it is TKOs.
One be?
I guess we'll talk about it as we go. Marquez Deron, potentially. The main event, potentially, if you're on the Cannonier side. If you're on the Cannonier side. Yeah, no, you can't knock out Sean Strickland. Did he wake up yet? Are we sure he's going to show up? Anyway, WeWantPicks.com/MKF. If you like the monkey knife fight, they will instantly match your deposit. Give them 50, they'll give you 50. Give them 100, they'll give you 100. WeWantPicks.com/MKF.
Would you go to in Vegas, because he's been sparring fans and people talking shit like crazy. Would you spar Sean Strickland?
Would I spar Sean? No, I'll get pieced up.
I mean, you can shoot takedowns in sparring.
Yeah, not with the big gloves. You know how hard it is to shoot takedowns with boxing gloves on?
Just thought you were a little bit tougher than that.
I'm not. Next up at UFC Vegas 66, we have Drew Dober taking on Bobby Green in one of the most interesting fights on this card. This is a very interesting fight. Drew Dober, 25-11 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off one of the most fun firefights we have ever seen. Those two dudes were literally swinging as hard as they could from their hips face to face. And then we got Bobby Green, 29-13, 2-1-3 in his last 5. He's coming off that short notice loss to Islam, which honestly isn't even a factor in this breakdown or my pick at all. That was legit 1 week's notice. He didn't care. He knew he was getting paid. He got taken down. He got put away, and that was it. It means that fight literally means nothing. He was just suspended for 6 months for a banned substance. It was only a 6-month suspension, meaning it wasn't. It's 2 years for a true performance-enhancing drug.
Yeah, but
this was a banned
jacket.
This was a
jacket.
Well, this is a banned substance, but not a performance-enhancing drug, if that makes sense. And Bobby Green was basically like, hey, I didn't even know this was on the list. My bad. And they believed him, so it was only a 6-month suspension. So anyway, he's back, and this is absolutely striker versus striker. Bobby Green does have some wrestling in his back pocket when he wants to use it. He doesn't always use it, though. But he's a volume striker, hands down, Roy Jones Jr. kind of guy, where Drew Dober is like, come forward, get hit in the face. It doesn't matter. And then he just sends something back until he eventually puts you out. I think Drew Dober wins this fight, but this is another really, really tough fight to call because Drew Dober gets hit a lot and hard, and it doesn't matter. He's never rocked. His chin never. It doesn't even matter that he gets hit. And it's not like Bobby Green's a power guy, but Bobby Green could make Drew Dober, he could beat him the same way that he beat Nasrat. Just volume. Volume and technique, touch him up, be a step ahead of him the entire time. That's what worries me about the Bobby Green side, because Nasrat Haqparast was a good striker, and Bobby Green made him look stupid as hell. But I do think Drew Dober's just freaking chin and his own power should be able to get this done. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, I'll be rooting for Bobby Green. I'm a big Bobby Green fan. I love that dude. And I'm saying this right now. If he wins, if he beats Drew Dober, and I put this on Twitter, if he beats Drew Dober on Saturday, I think the UFC should do Patty versus Bobby Green. I think that would be a ton of fun. Bobby Green's a name for Patty. The trash talk would be insane. And he's not super dangerous, so Patty could kind of strike with him. But, you know, he can hold his own. It might be another weird decision. Patty's not really a wrestler, and Bobby's got the wrestling. I think that fight would be a lot of fun. That's my prediction. If Bobby Green wins, can he win this fight? I think he can win this fight. I think this is definitely a decision fight for a couple reasons. Number one, the chin of Drew Dober. Incredible. Bobby Green doesn't have a ton of power. He's not going to be able to put Drew Dober out. Drew Dober throws wild, has a lot of power, but you can't hit Bobby Green clean. He has that shoulder roll. He's very, very good defensively. You cannot hit this guy. The difference is, if this comes down to a decision fight, and we remember the judges are stupid. Judges are absolutely stupid. They have no idea what's going on inside the octagon for whatever reason. It's going to look like Drew Dober is winning this fight because he's going to throw the more powerful shots, right? It's going to be flashy because a lot of Bobby Green stuff, it's a lot of slip and rip, right? It's slip, boom, boom, and he's in and out, and it doesn't look like much. Drew Dober is going to have the pressure. He's going to have the power shots, and even when you don't land on Bobby, you do land on Bobby because he shoulder rolls a lot of stuff, and a lot of stuff deflects off his shoulder. And if you're a stupid fucking judge, all you're hearing is punches being landed. And Bobby makes sure he tells the judges. That's why you'll see a lot of times Bobby's like, because he shoulder rolls it. But it sounds like he's getting hit. And the judges are going to be like, oh my God, Drew Dober's lighting his ass up. And in a decision fight, that's where they're going to remember inside of each of these rounds. So that's why I'm leading Drew Dober, because of the way that Bobby shoulder rolls punches, and judges are absolutely stupid and they have no idea. But Bobby's the better striker. He's the better boxer in this matchup. He could
100%.
Easily win this decision. I just think the judges are going to be stupid and give it to Drew Dober.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this could look like that Nasrat Haqparast fight. And that was he just worked him. He was just the better striker, and a lot of people thought Nasrat was a better striker, and he's a decent striker.
So clean. I love watching Bobby Green, man.
No, 100%. He should be able to touch up Drew Dober and dance around him, but Drew Dober's chin, his own power, those are all incredible factors here.
And people were,
but Bobby could also wrestle.
Me too. Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, to that point, people were telling in the Discord to me like, "Oh, Drew Dober by submission, Drew Dober by this. Look at those odds." Like Drew Dober, first of all, doesn't really wrestle, and even if he wanted to wrestle, Bobby Green is probably the better wrestler of the two. Bobby Green was a wrestler. He literally was a wrestler, and that's how he started, and then became this fantastic striker. So I don't think Drew Dober is going to out-grapple Bobby Green.
No, 100% agree. 8,600 to 7,600. Bobby Green's worth a shot at 7,600 for sure. Drew Dober, he's not. This should be a 50-50 fight. Drew Dober's got a chin, but who's putting Bobby out? Like, your chin only matters if you're hanging around, using it to hang around long enough to knock somebody else out. And I don't see Drew Dober putting out Bobby either. So, $7,600. Bobby Green's definitely worth a stab in a DraftKings lineup or two. Monkey Knife Fight strike line 63 to 79. This is going to be a more. These guys are going to go at it. There's going to be a lot of striking, probably almost no grappling at all. If there is grappling, Bobby Green definitely wins. Because meaning he's the one shooting the takedowns and probably getting them. 63 to 79. I like that. I like the more here. What do you think?
Yeah, if you see Bobby Green, especially in this matchup, because he knows how much fun he could have with Drew Dober with that striking, his counter striking. If you see him shooting takedowns, that probably means he's hurt, right? Or he's felt the power of Drew and he does not like it. I don't see that happening. I agree. It's a more.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably play that. WeWantPicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit. Take some of that free money, throw it at this line. And if you want to be a premium member, Sign up at WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10 a month, $2.50 a week, that whole spiel. But make sure you link your Discord so that you get instant access and alerts to your phone about all our bets, the ownership, all that stuff. We immediately throw in Discord, and you get those alerts to your phone. And next week, when there's a week off, premium members are the people who can call in. We do a call-in show. You call in, you come on the camera if you want. If not, hide your face, and we'll just get your voice, ask a question. We'll yuck it up on the live stream for the world to see. That is only for premium members, so go ahead and give it a shot. Next up at UFC Vegas 66, we have Bruce Leroy taking on Julian Erosa. Alex Caceres is 19-13 overall, 4-1 in his last 5. He is coming off a loss that broke a 5-fight win streak. Julian Erosa is 28-9 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, and he is riding a nice 3-fight win streak. And I got to go with Erosa here, and I know it's tricky because Alex Caceres is the type of kid that he's decent everywhere. He's not amazing anywhere, but he can grapple, he can strike, he can do all the things. He's only 34, but he's been around forever. He's been fighting at a high level for a very long time. And that 19-13, a lot of those 13 losses are to good people, right? He's been here for a while.
And early in his career too. Yeah.
But Julian Erosa is just good. He's good. He's tough. He's dangerous. He comes forward. He fights hard. He's got MMA jiu-jitsu. He's got power in his hands, a ton of finishes, a very violent guy. I like Julian Erosa to win this fight for sure. He's one of my more confident picks, but I get a little nervous that this could look like what did we just get 2 weeks ago? Clay Guida, old, tired, won that fight. Michael Johnson, old, tired, won his fight. And Alex Caceres is nowhere near their age, but look at his record. He's starting to climb up there with the amount of fights that he's had. And he's getting old, he's getting tired, and yeah, he's 34, but he's like 40 in fight years. What is the face?
What about Alex Caceres and him, the way he fights, makes you think he's old and tired? What the fuck?
My point is he's getting washed up here. He's getting washed up. He's slowing down. You don't think he's slowing down?
No, he was on a 5-fight win streak, and then
okay. Who did he beat? Who did he beat in the 5-fight win streak? Tell me a good person he beat in that win streak outside. Was it that redneck?
Sang-Woo Choi.
Okay, who else?
All right, Kevin Kroom.
Yeah, what a solid win that was. That's a career builder of a win.
Chase Hooper.
Yeah, incredible win over an incredible athlete. Oh, Jesus, boy, what a bad take from me.
Steven Peterson.
Oh, another nasty. Oh, my God, I was way off. I take everything back. Alex Caceres, lock of the week. I'm going to do a gimmick. Lock of the week. Tune in. Stupid video editing. What's your pick?
You seem to think about me a lot, huh? Listen, I'm not going to disrespect Alex Caceres like that. I think that this could end up being one of the fight of the nights. It's probably not going to be fight of the night, but it absolutely could be fight of the night because both these guys are wild. They're tough as hell. They're crazy. And Alex Caceres seems to get more and more wild as the fight goes on. If he's losing the fight, if he's getting desperate, he does some wild stuff. He tries to get. If he's ever on the back of Julian Erosa, he is a problem, especially early. This guy is a wiry dude that, as you mentioned, is well-rounded everywhere. Unfortunately for him, Julian Erosa is kind of like his mirror image, except a little bit better everywhere. Maybe not like the pure jiu-jitsu, I would say, if they had like a jiu-jitsu match. But as you mentioned, in the MMA grappling, MMA jiu-jitsu, he can hold his own and maybe even be a better grappler than Alex Caceres in a fight. So I just think that Julian Erosa is a little bit better everywhere. He's just as tough. I'm not saying he's going to be tougher than Alex, but he's just as tough and can really break down. He likes to break down fighters. We talked about that last week with the fighter. Just kind of breaking down fighters, and I think he can do that with Alex Caceres and maybe even find a late finish. Gets him on the ground, maybe a submission, maybe a TKO. I just think he grits his way to a win. But if Alex Caceres comes in and does something wild on the first round, it's not going to surprise me.
Well, he's a crafty veteran after all. A little slow, a little dusty, getting a little dusty, but he's a crafty veteran. You like him at $7,400 since he's just so incredible and he hasn't slowed down, hasn't skipped a beat?
I picked Julian Erosa to win.
No, I know, but Alex Caceres hasn't slowed down, hasn't skipped a beat.
What a fucking question that was, huh? You got so caught up in your little moment there that you embarrassed
my
yourself.
Moment. Okay.
You're like the fighters at the press conference, just writing everything. They're looking at their phones. Oh, here's my moment. I'm going to leave him frozen like Elsa.
Elsa is the one that has the powers. So she's not, she's freezing people.
Well, tell it to Izzy, not me.
$7,400 in DraftKings. Listen, there's a world where Alex wins this fight for sure. I think Julian Erosa obviously wins. We just talked about that. But Alex could grind. That's what he could do. I doubt it. $8,800, I'll probably spend that. There's not a lot of people. We talked about a couple of 9,200s I didn't love. But I'm probably liking the 8,800 here for Julian Erosa. Monkey knife fight strike line 52 to 66. It's probably a more. I don't think there's going to be much grappling here, and I think they're going to slug it out. And like you said, Julian Erosa likes to break people, come forward, pressure. And even if we get to a third round stoppage, something like that, we're talking, we're getting past 66 and 52 with these guys.
Yeah, I like the more a lot in this matchup. I think Chris fucked up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think you fucked up, Chris. Thank you for everything that you did. And he got me these lines a day early. So thank you, Chris, for that. A day early. Exactly. If you want to take a stab at that, weonpicks.com/MKF. Sign up, make a deposit. They will instantly match your deposit up to $100. You know what that means if you give them $50?
I don't know. I'm tired of hearing this shit, to be honest with you.
I'll just remove that from your commissions. It's an easy way to take care of that. Take care of that real quick. No.
Go ahead.
No.
We can't wait to hear it again.
Next up, at UFC Vegas 66, we have Amir Albazi taking on short notice UFC debut Alessandro Costa. Amir Albazi, 15-1 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off the submission win over Francisco Figueiredo. Alessandro Costa is 12-2 overall. He is riding a 7-fight win streak and making his UFC debut. And this was short notice. It is an interesting fight, though. He's almost as good as his record says. A little bit padded, but overall, he's a very good guy. Solid striker, pretty good takedown defense. And his striking style is high, tight guard, and he's patient. He's going to wait, find his spots, and then as soon as he takes his hands off his face, he is throwing with 100% intent. He does a really nice job of small combinations. He'll come in there, left hook to the body, straight right to the face. And he does a really nice job of not just one punch at a time. Has power, but can be low volume. Amir Albazi is legit. He's a solid grappler, solid striker, very high pace, very comfortable. He's on his toes bouncing, and he just has great wrestling and grappling entries. I think Amir is the much better fight. I think this line is correct. I think this is a pretty straightforward pick with Amir Albazi. I know you texted me saying you think he could lose this fight. Still feel that way?
I'm not going to say, let me preface this as always that my pick is Amir. He's a favorite for a reason. This is short notice. A little bit, a regional guy is what it is. UFC debut, blah, blah, blah. We all know all that stuff. But I will say, after watching film, and the fight that I watched for Costa, I watched a few, but the fight that I was most interested in was the fight that he lost, a split decision lost. In that matchup, his wrestling, his grappling, his toughness, even his stand-up. I actually love his takedown as well. I mentioned the wrestling, but that goes both ways, his defense and his offense. I thought looked fantastic. I mean, he looked like when I watched that fight in a regional fight, he looked like, to me, visually, like a UFC caliber fighter in that fight. And that was 3 years ago. And he lost that fight, and I still thought he looked good in that fight, in the wrestling, in the grappling, in the submissions, very aggressive. I think he lost that fight because he was so aggressive in his submission attempts, which I don't mind that. I would rather somebody be a little bit too aggressive than not chase enough, especially in a matchup like this. Big moment, big underdog against a guy that probably wants to get this fight to the ground. I think that's Amir's probably easiest path. What he thinks in his mind is, let me get the takedown, out-grapple this guy. I think he might find himself in some issues against a guy as tough, especially if he comes in and underestimates a guy like Alessandro Costa in this matchup. So I'm not saying that he's going to win, but I'm saying I'm sprinkling a little bit of something on him because I think this fight goes on the ground, and on the ground, Costa is very underrated, especially from where they put the bets for him in some grappling exchanges. So my pick is Amir. He's a favorite for a reason, but I'm saying, man, this dude Costa, there's something about him that it's like he could be something.
No, I mean, listen, I get it, and the short notice definitely a factor here. This might be the worst take I've ever seen. These two guys suck. And he's like, can we skip this fight? They'll both be in the LFA.
I think he was talking about you and me.
No, it's definitely. I almost did too.
Well, yeah, I think he was talking about. I think he thinks you're two people.
Do I have to buy 2 seats on an airplane? Anyway, unless he's talking about a different fight, what an absolute trash take, because these guys are very, very good. Albazi's
on the stream.
But would the chat show up live like this? I guess it would.
He still types live. It's still live. Jesus, man.
Well, then who's he talking to? Nobody?
Hey, he's just hanging out, man. Maybe he thinks he's live. I don't know. I don't know how it works, Jim. I mean, Jesus. Put him on blast like that.
You should know how it works, aren't you? The young kid with the cool terms, Riz.
I mean, people are talking about Rinat right now. Yeah, they're talking about Rinat versus Battle. There you go.
Okay. Well,
figure it out.
Both these guys are very good. Amir Albazi should absolutely dominate this fight. $9,600. I'll take it. It is short notice. It is a UFC debut. Amir can wrestle. He can strike. And I know you think you peg Alessandro more as a grappler than a striker, but I think he's more of a striker than a grappler.
Well,
and I watched plenty of tape, so I don't want to hear your stupid bullshit.
DC, huh? So is it
yeah. Anyway, $9,600. I think he's worth it. What do you think?
There's something weird about this fight, man. Come back and let me know.
Okay.
Can't wait to show this on Twitter Saturday night.
That you still picked Amir, you buffoon.
Yeah, but I'm
have the nuts. Have the nuts.
Right now, somebody's watching this.
Have the nuts.
No, right now, somebody is watching this on Saturday night being like, oh my God, he did try to warn us. I'm warning you right now. Submission Costa.
Then bet it.
Oh.
Shut up, stupid.
I did.
If you want access to all of his bets, shut up, stupid.
Stupid ass.
If you want access to all of his bets, even the dumb ones, become a premium member. It's only $10 a month, $2.50 a week. And you can see the foolishness that goes into his 17+ units.
Odds. So this is what I'll tell you, and the reason why, and I already put it in the Discord, honestly, so people already know what I was doing, but I did sprinkle very, very small for submission. They have the same, and remember when I did this with, I did it with Marcelo Rojo too, which it didn't pay off, but I think it's worth a flyer in these instances because I think this fight goes to the ground. Costa's very well versed on the ground. They have these odds, the same odds that they had Tai Tuivasa by sub against Sergey, plus 4,000. Plus 4,500 and plus 5,000 for an underdog who knows what the fuck he's doing on the ground. I'm just saying, I think it's worth a little bit.
Listen, I hear you. I disagree that that's going to happen, but if you're talking literally a couple dollars for
it's not
4,000,
I wouldn't do it if it was
40 times.
I wouldn't do it if it's plus 1,200, plus 1,500. You know, I don't think that's worth it. But I mean, Jesus Christ, this guy can grapple, man.
No, I mean 4,000. Isn't that 40 times?
It's 4,000.
It's not 4,000 times. If you bet $1, you don't get $4,000. But
yeah,
if you bet $1, you don't get $4,000 back.
If you bet one penny and you win, you get $40,000.
Well, we got $5 from John Doe. He says, "What's up?" Good old fashioned throwback there. I don't know what you laughed at.
You know, it's funny. Funny little story here is when that was popular and those guys were big. I went to no, it wasn't the Frogs.
I know, it was the same era. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I went to a Pacers Bulls, I think it was Bulls, playoff game. You know, that's what I do. And the guys were sitting in front of us, and as they were walking up to go get beers or whatever, my dad was like, "What's up?" And they went, bleh. I mean, the whole way up, everyone's like, "Oh, what's up?" They're the coolest dudes. Anyway.
They sound.
So when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh."
Sound awesome.
And then I became an alcoholic. I mean, great ad placement.
Yeah. Anyway, $9,600. Did you say if that was? You said no because then you went into your fake. I hope this gets clipped rant.
A little wary.
Okay. Monkey Knife Ice Strickland 68 to 56. Not touching it because Costa can be low volume. Amir Albazi can end up grappling. Then.
I mean, I already put some. Oh, here we go. Do you want me to take the lead on this one?
Sure.
Next up, we have the future 155 lightweight champion Damir Ismagulov versus the little troll, one-dimensional Bryce Mitchell wannabe Arman Tsarukyan. Listen, guys, this isn't even close in terms of fighting. I told you guys that Leon Edwards would absolutely dominate Kamaru Usman on the feet. It took him a little bit to do it, but he absolutely did that. This is the exact same matchup. We have a one-dimensional Arman Tsarukyan. All he wants to do is just lay and pray versus the absolute mixed martial artist, complete, unbelievable striker and wrestler in Damir Ismagulov. This fight isn't even close. This is going to be a mostly standing matchup, and Damir is absolutely going to smoke this clown, Arman Tsarukyan. He is going to dominate this matchup, get a title shot next year, and smoke Islam, waiting for the rematch of Ismagulov versus Garam, whatever his name is, for the title early 2024. Thank you for listening. That has been the full card breakdown for We Want Picks for UFC.
We have a main event.
I don't really give a shit about it.
Anyway, yeah, you've been high on Damir for a while. You like Damir, Garam, all of those. I like Arman here. I think Arman's going to win this fight. He's 18-3 overall. He is coming off that loss to Gamrot. Keep in mind, that was 5 rounds. And he had early success in that fight. And you're going to say, oh, he was taken down 6 times. First of all, Gamrot's a nasty wrestler, much better wrestler than Damir Ismagulov is. But he defended 15 takedowns. So, yes, he was taken down 6, but he defended 15. He landed more total strikes. He landed more significant strikes. So he had success in that fight. If that was a 3-round fight, Arman may have won it. Right? He lost because it was a 5-rounder. He started to slow down.
He wouldn't have won it because he lost 3, 4, and 5. Won the first 2.
Yeah. And this is a 3-round fight. And Arman, early, fresh, with the wrestling, with the striking, I think he's busy. He puts on that pressure, and I do think he wins this fight. I fully recognize Damir is nasty. He's a very good striker. He can wrestle. But that's the difference. He can wrestle. He's not a wrestler. Where Arman, that's what he's going to do. Arman is a wrestler who can strike, but in this matchup, I think it's just going to be dictated by either takedown offense or takedown defense. That's what's going to dictate this fight. And I think the takedown offense is going to be a little better from Arman than the defense of Ismagulov. He only has 3 rounds to worry about, so he's going to come out high pressure, high takedown. That was his first loss in a very long time. His other one was to Islam, who became champ. Smoked. He was only 21 years old, and Islam's now the champ. So I think
I'm tired. That's the worst narrative is 22-year-old Arman gave Islam his toughest test. No, the fuck he did not. He was
I didn't say he gave his tough. I didn't.
No, I'm not saying you said. I'm like that's like the narrative out there was like, oh, this dude Arman, he almost beat Islam, and then he almost beat Gamrot. It's like, well, he lost both those fights, and there's a reason why he lost both those fights. I'll give an honest breakdown after you, by the way.
The Gamrot one was definitely close. There's a lot of people that think Arman won that fight. Like that was a close fight.
Right.
Like I said, he literally landed more strikes, more significant strikes.
He was pressuring and got out wrestled late third.
At the end.
I think he got. Yeah. I think Gamrot got dropped in the 3rd round, early 3rd, and then
he was
just kind of out wrestling. And then he got out wrestled, and towards the end, so then judges are stupid and was like, "Oh man, this guy's really out wrestling." And then he got out wrestled. Yeah. The difference between the takedowns, and sorry to like interject here, but
no, go ahead.
The difference between the takedowns of Arman on Gamrot and some other people is, especially on Gamrot, is Gamrot wants to scramble through those takedowns and end up on top. So there's going to be situations where he's going to end up on the bottom trying to scramble on top because he doesn't mind those scramble positions. Damir is a guy that knows how to defend takedowns, sprawl, and scramble to get back to his feet. That's his goal, and he's very good at that. As far as the striking goes, yes, I'm very high on Damir. I'm very well aware that if Arman can get this guy to the ground, he's going to win the fight. I'm not stupid, guys. I know I'm saying a lot of stuff, but when it comes down to it, if Arman can get the takedowns, he's absolutely going to win the fight. That's why he's the favorite the way he is. I just think Damir can defend the takedowns enough and is way better on the feet. It's not even close on the feet. I mean, his jab alone will just eat Arman alive. And Arman, when he cannot get takedowns, and maybe Damir misses it in some offensive wrestling, just kind of throw him off, he can get worn down. I'm Damir all the way in this matchup, man. He's the real deal. He is the real deal. Nobody's ever been able to lay and prey on him up to this point. Maybe Arman's a dude, but I don't think so.
It's definitely a great. I do care more about this than the main event. This is a much more interesting fight than the main event. It's not a bad main event, especially for a fight night. I'll watch it, but this is much more interesting. What?
Now, one more thing for people, because people were talking about in the chat as well. When you watch Damir, he does have a tick on his face. So I think even in the last fight, they're like, oh, I think something's wrong with his eye. When he's in there striking stuff, you'll see him go like this. Like with this fight, he does have a tick, so it looks weird. So when people watch and don't think like, oh my God, he's hurt, something's going on, he does, like, you'll see him just kind of go like this, like every 10, 15 seconds, and he still outstrikes people with one eye closed.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's very good. This is not an Ilia Topuria Bryce Mitchell breakdown where I just don't understand the other side. I don't understand how you can.
I think this is Usman Leon Edwards right here.
Well, first 3 rounds, Usman won that fight, so I'll take it.
Well, he's getting dominated in the first round, so.
Okay, 2-1. I'll take it all day, every day.
Knocked down, so.
These DraftKings prices are swapped, so I do think Arman wins. The $8,900 is tricky because if he gets the takedowns and does what he does, that's $8,900, no problem. He's worth every penny. But if he ends up in a striking match and can't get those takedowns, it's not like he's going to win by knockout. So $8,900, I'll mess with my lineup. I don't love a lot of people in this card, but I do like Arman to win this. Obviously, you love Damir at 7,300.
Absolutely. I think,
you think he gets a finish or he just keeps it standing?
I honestly think that he could just beat the face of Arman with that jab. It's a nasty jab. I mean, Grom that he beat, and I know it was a split decision, is what it is. And Grom was my lock of the week versus Damir. There was a reason for that. I didn't think that Damir was the striker that he was. He came in and outstruck Grom mostly with that jab, beat him up. I think he can beat up Arman with that jab. Arman tires because he can't get the takedowns he needs to kind of control the fight. And Damir can be a sniper when he wants to. I know he's got a lot of decisions, but if he sees somebody tired, he can snipe him. And I could see him getting a late finish with Arman not getting the takedown. So I actually love Damir in this matchup.
You know my favorite part about the comment sections? And the Chris V, I'm not calling you out specifically. If we're going back to the Ilia fight, right? You and I were stupid high on Ilia. I went on multiple rants about how good Ilia is and how bad Bryce Mitchell is if we're just talking MMA wrestling and stuff like that. I was getting
the flu, though. I had the flu, and I had it 2 weeks before the fight, and I didn't think it was going to affect anything. But once I got in there, I'm known for my cardio, and got in that fight, that first round, I just couldn't feel like myself because I had the flu 2 weeks before the fight. You didn't have it while you were fighting.
Well, and anyway, my point was, people were attacking me in the comments. People were screen grabbing clips from my breakdown and tweeting them. Terrible take. Why do you hate people from Arkansas? All this shit. I saw maybe 3 people. I agree. Ilia wins this fight. Ilia dominates every comment. I knew it. Free money. I knew it. Oh, yeah, of course, Ilia. Where were you when I was getting attacked? Oh, you were nowhere because you didn't know it. You weren't on that side. Every Sunday. Oh, I knew this would happen. Oh, you guys are idiots. I knew Amanda Nunes was going to lose. Shut the fuck. I don't know what the lying's for. Who are you impressing? Makes no sense.
I actually did say that Julian Pena could win that fight, so. In our breakdown. You can watch the breakdown, so.
Congrats. Let me go all the way back and find that. Anyway, back to this fight. Jacob and I are split. The DraftKings prices are wrong. Not only on the screen, they're wrong in DraftKings. This wasn't a typo. So maybe they don't switch it and we get lucky ducky. That'd be nice. Monkey Knife Fight Strike Line 77-60. Not touching it because this could just be grappling. It could be 15 minutes of grappling, and I'm not going to touch it. If it's striking, for sure. Arman Tsarukyan can also have some high volume standing on his feet. He doesn't just sit and chill. He throws it out there, he pushes, and he sets the pace. What the hell are you doing with your eyes?
Oh, there's some dogs barking now. My guard dog is getting a little upset right now.
My guard dog. Okay.
You hear that?
Anyway, sign up for premium membership. WeWantPicks.com. It is only $10 a month, and you'll see whatever action we will or won't put on this fight. What the fuck?
She gets excited when I'm like, she's like, see? Oh, now she's going, see? She's very trained. Anytime I'm like looking for someone, boom, she's taking care of it. Congratulations.
You have a dog. I have a dog. He sucks. But next up at UFC Vegas 66, we have the main event of the evening. Jared Cannonier taking on Sean Strickland. Interesting fight. Couple of strikers. We'll see what happens. Not really title implications. Both guys coming off losses, but it does matter for the division. Jared Cannonier, 15-6 overall, 3-2 in his last 5. Coming off of that title loss to Izzy just a couple months ago. Sean Strickland, 25-4, 4-1 in his last 5, and he's coming off that KO loss to Alex Maheshate. That was lights out KO loss there. But it's striker versus striker. Jared Cannonier is going to be the more powerful striker, the more dangerous striker. He does switch between southpaw and orthodox. He throws kicks from all over the place. He does have okay grappling, but it's mostly defensive. But he does a good job of defending the takedown, ending up on top. That's not going to matter here. Sean Strickland is all volume. He's just all volume. He will walk forward, throwing arm punches like this. He doesn't lean into anything. He doesn't throw anything hard, but he does manage to conjure up some power inside of those little arm punch strikes. He has got very good takedown defense at 85%. And in that Uriah Hall a few fights ago, we got to see his takedown offense. He had 4 takedowns in that fight. And listen, he said, I'm not going to wrestle Alex Maheshate. I'm going to stand with him. Maybe he comes out and wrestles here, right? He got flatlined. Maybe he comes and wrestles here. We saw him wrestle Uriah Hall, and Uriah Hall's a good, dangerous striker. So maybe he does the same thing here. If he does, I think Sean Strickland would be in more trouble trying to wrestle Jared Cannonier than trying to strike with him. Because if you try to wrestle Jared Cannonier, now your head's down. You're waiting for an uppercut. Now you're in like a offensive takedown situation. Jared Cannonier has great takedown defense and can get you to your back and just pound away. But anyway, I think Jared Cannonier wins this fight. I think the power matters. I think he comes forward. I think the leg kicks matter. I don't think Sean Strickland's going to be able to knock him out. And I don't think Sean Strickland's ever going to recover from that knockout. It's too soon. It is too soon to come back after a knockout like that. I don't think he's going to recover. So I don't think his chin's going to all be there, and Jared Cannonier hits like a freight train. So I like Jared Cannonier to win this fight. Am I stupid confident? No. But I do think Jared Cannonier wins this fight, and a lot of it has to do with Sean Strickland's last fight and how that went. I think you're on the other side of this, right?
Yeah, he wouldn't really like put out though. I mean, it kind of looked bad visually, but he bounced like right back to his feet when it was done. So it's not like he was like Usman, eyes open, knocked out. But it was a knockout, and you never know how people are going to react, not only, as you mentioned, with his chin, with his body, but mentally as well. I mean, the guy seems like he's like mentally like everywhere. Maybe he completely changed his game plan because he got knocked out. Maybe he's not as confident because, and I actually mentioned it last night, that I think that Patty should go train for 6 months to a year with Sean Strickland and Chris Curtis and that camp, because there's hardly anybody that defensively boxes better than Chris Curtis and Sean Strickland. There's a reason why Sean Strickland went on this crazy whatever, because you can't really hit the guys. Same with Chris Curtis. You can't really hit these guys, and they're such good counter strikers. Obviously, Chris Curtis has the power, but Sean Strickland with that volume, with that jab, boom, boom, you try and hit him, he's just slipping, he's rolling. And obviously, Alex found that shot, but Alex is he is a different dude compared to these dudes in the division. Different power, different the way he throws it. And Cannonier against Izzy, if he brings in that same game plan, he's going to get picked apart. I mean, Izzy just picked him apart. Cannonier was stalking, but he just never went. You just wanted him to, like, go. And if he is that same guy, the same thing is going to happen. Cannonier has to turn this into a fight. He has to turn this into a little bit of a brawl. He has to take some chances. He has to trust his power over Sean Strickland's power. And at this point, I just can't trust him to do that. I think Sean Strickland just sits there and just jabs him, and it's just boring, and it's a Sean Strickland fight for 25 minutes, and Cannonier can never find that power. So I got to go with Sean Strickland. It's a pick him for a reason. I'll probably be rooting for Cannonier to find another knockout, but I think I trust Sean a little bit more at his game plan, his abilities, more than Jared, unfortunately.
Well, and, I hear you. I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I'm not betting money line on this because I'm basically relying on Sean's chin to not be the same. And that's not a game plan for betting. You don't bet money because you're hoping somebody didn't recover from a few months ago, right? That's not an intelligent way. The bet that I am going to be looking for, though, is I've been talking about the Monkey Knife Fight takedown lines. Sorry, Monkey Knife Fight. The Bet Online takedown lines that they drop sort of at the end of the week, they do the exact same thing with significant strikes. And one of the bets that they allow you to place is who is going to land more significant strikes, Jared Cannonier or Sean Strickland. We might get lucky with like a minus 200, even a minus 300 on Sean Strickland. And I'll bet that all day. Of course, Sean Strickland's going to land more significant strikes. It's not even close. Here's the stats.
Imagine if Jared comes
5.54 to 3.7. Oh, well, yeah, then that's obviously a problem. So hopefully it's a little later and that volume racks up ahead of time. But I'll be looking for that bet when it drops. You know, that's how we're finding the spots. We keep talking about Jacob and I are up 61 units over the last 5 events. I mean, this is an epic 5-event streak we got going on here. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter what happens in this event because we're not going to bet 61 units. It doesn't even matter. No matter what, we're going to be up.
Live stream could get wild. Check out that live stream.
Well, but the live stream bets we don't count the wins or the losses towards that. It's just the bets that we put on the board for premium members that count. But anyway, my overall point is that's how we're finding our spots, and that's how we're getting it done. So I do think Jared Cannonier wins. Am I going to bet on him? No, of course not. Just like I got the Clay Guida fight wrong a few weeks ago. But we were up money. I saw the rest of Twitter just crying in their losses. Jacob and I were up big money because we pick our spots. Not every fight needs to be bet on. You should not be betting 50-50s. Some dude I should call him out. Let me call him out. There was a dude in Discord the other day bitching about my bets. Hold on. This is what you get. Let me pull it up my phone. DMing me, no less. The nerve. Goal Driver in Discord, this guy, was basically complaining, why do you tend to put 3 units on singles like Ilya since it doesn't pay good and they are favorites? Like, yeah, likely you hit those, but if they lose, you down 3 units, it sucks. Yeah, dummy, you pick your spots, man. You pick your spots. You're only going to bet underdogs. Good luck chasing that. Good luck only betting underdogs, only looking for plus money.
There's only one person in the world that can do that. And you're not him.
You weren't him either.
You're not him.
But anyway, my point is pick your spots. Do I think Jared Cannonier wins? Yes. Am I going to spend money on him? No, I'm not an idiot. I enjoy my money. I'm just going to watch the fight so that somebody can comment, terrible take, bro. Was it? Didn't lose any money. I'm up money. Was it a terrible take? You spending $8,500 on DraftKings? No. Yeah, okay. Pick your spots. Pick your spots. Monkey Knife Fight strike line 63 to 88. This is a 5-round fight. That's a low line for a 5-round fight. I'm going to go more and more. Jared Cannonier can be gun shy, but I think the difference between Jared Cannonier versus Izzy and this fight, I think he was literally afraid of Izzy. It's a big moment. It's a title fight. It's a pay-per-view. You might get knocked out. Those aren't really concerns here, right? It's a fight night. It's Sean Strickland. He's got power, but he doesn't have power. So I think he might have a little more volume in this fight than he did in his last fight. So I like Jared Cannonier to win, obviously, but I do like the Monkey Knife Fight more. If you want to check that out, go to wewantpicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit. Take the free money. Play some of these lines. Do Knockout Kings, and I can guarantee you will have even more free money at the end of the week, as we have done every single week for the last God knows how long with Monkey Knife Fight Knockout Kings. Guys, don't forget, we're giving away $1,000. $1,000 for nothing. The only thing you need to do is subscribe to this channel, subscribe to our other channel, Picks Nation, and comment on the giveaway video. Costs zero money. That you don't need to be a member. You don't need to no sales pitch. Just click a few buttons, type in a comment, and you are qualified. We're just going to use a random comment picker, and whoever it picks, that's it. It's that simple. The only caveat to all of it is we need to hit 10,000 subscribers, which, I mean, we're 700 away. That should happen. If that doesn't happen, I'm shocked. If that doesn't happen, I'm shocked. So we should hit 10,000. We got to hit that before January 1st, and somebody is going to walk away with the money. And as we get closer, I'll put up a poll if it should be, what do you think? One person gets it all or divided up over a couple of people? I honestly think it should be divided up, but I'll let the people pick. They're the ones doing the contest, not me. Okay. Thanks for the answer. Don't forget to become a premium member. WeWantPicks.com. It's only $2.50 a week. Click Become a Member at the top. You get access to all the bets, which we talk about, which have absolutely been crushing. But bets aside, remove the bets from the entire premium membership. It is still the best value in MMA. You get a DraftKings optimizer, which other people are charging $15 for. We're 10, and it comes with everything. You get daily fantasy plays. We're going to give you the prize picks lines, which move. We give them to you early. Underdog fantasy, we give them to you early before they move. DraftKings ownership, FanDuel ownership. We literally give you everything you could ever need to get the picks, make the money, and do well watching these fights. And don't forget, if you want $50 for free, literally the only thing you need to do is go to weontpicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our betting partners, make a deposit, we send you $50. You just have to use our link because it's affiliate marketing. They pay us, we pay you. Use the link, make a deposit, we'll send you $50 as a thank you. Jakey boy, any parting words for the people?
Nope.
Go out on a bang here, guys. All right, well, see ya.